Enjoy brighter radio listening with Blaupunkt Radiogram's automatic pre-select tuning.
Kost is op die tafel.
The makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Purine and Pret Cooking Fat, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, Maple Margarine, and Niblets Cheese Twists present the Epic Casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
Good evening. Regular listeners to the Epic Casebook of Crime will appreciate the important role played by the informer. Of course, nobody loves a man whose motives for supplying information stem not out of regard for law and justice, but are the purely mercenary ones expressed in rands and cents. Sometimes, of course, an informer will squeal on his friends and one-time associates in order to achieve immunity from the consequences of his crimes. Whatever the reasons, the very mention of these people's names leaves a very nasty taste in the mouth. That's why the London police call them narcs or squealers or grassers, all of them terms of utter contempt. But there is another kind of informer, the type of person who seeks neither financial gain nor protection from his own misdeeds. The man who will shop another out of revenge. He is the sort of individual one has to treat with considerable caution, since his information may be invented to create havoc in the life of someone he dislikes. That's why, when I first received a warning telephone call, I treated it with a certain amount of suspicion. But it led to a strange episode in my life in the murder squad, an episode which I've called Warning Anonymous.
Have you noticed how the sunflower always faces the sun? That's how the sunflower seed gets all its goodness, from the sun. Epic Pure Sunflower Seed Oil is made from nothing but the finest sunflower seeds to give you all the golden goodness of sunshine. So the next time you want golden goodness in a pure sunflower seed oil, before you say oil, say Epic. How can anyone make a peanut butter that's really different from any other peanut butter? It's not easy. But Yum Yum is a new kind of peanut butter. A peanut butter that's so smooth, it spreads easily. So creamy, it almost melts in your mouth. In fact, new Yum Yum is so different, we don't even call it peanut butter. We call it Yum Yum Super Creamy Spread. Yum Yum, the super creamy spread with a true peanut taste.
The telephone call came through just as I was about to leave for home at approximately 5:30 one Friday afternoon. Carr speaking.
Ops here, sir. There's someone on the line. Says he wants to talk to you personally, sir. Says he's got a tip-off.
Tip-off? Well, that's not my department. Put him through to X-Branch.
Insists on speaking to you, sir. Says he knows you're the murder squad. Says it's a matter of life and death.
Oh, there's he. Trying to trace the call, are you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Good. Well, I'll try and keep him talking. Put him through.
Right, sir. You're going through. Speak up, please.
Inspector Carr,
Yes? Well, what can I do for you?
does the name of Gunner Kane mean anything to you?
Gunner Kane. Should it?
It was you that got him life. 15 years ago it is.
Oh, Gunner Kane, of course. Well, what about him?
I just want to tell you he's out. He's gonna kill the judge that sentenced him and the lawyer that double-crossed him.
Why do you want to tell me all this? Oh, is he going to kill me, too?
Ain't that enough? Oh, I see. You'll keep me talking. I'm speaking from a call box. I'm leaving now. Tell your blokes they needn't bother looking for fingerprints on this telephone. There won't be none. Goodbye.
Just a minute. He's hung up. Yes?
That call came from a telephone box in Leicester Square. Leicester Square station, sir. Car's on its way.
Radio them not to bother. He's rung off.
Right, sir.
There is something else you can do for me.
Yes, sir.
I want you to get me all you can on the Gunner Kane case.
What, sir?
Some time ago, I was a sergeant at the time. He shot and killed a constable. I helped to get him convicted. Life. He was a lucky man.
Lucky, Inspector. Life, sir.
Very lucky. The government suspended capital punishment for a time. Well, now he's coming out of jail. All this is very interesting. Do you know what they called the case at the time, Ops?
No, sir.
Well, of course you don't. Why should you? It's a long time ago. They called it the case of the undiscovered loot. There was over £100,000 in £1 notes. No one knows what happened to them, including Gunner, if he was to be believed. I'd give anything to know who that informer was, telling me Gunner's out and he's about to kill the man who defended him. All a bit strange. Obviously, the undiscovered stolen money has something to do with the call. Carl speaking.
Ops here again, sir. You wanted Mr. Bailey. We've got him on the line, sir. Speak up, please.
Thank you. Mr. Bailey, my name's Carr, Inspector Carr. Do you remember me?
Why, yes, of course. Haven't seen you in years. How are you, Inspector?
Fine. How are you?
I'm all right. There's a note in your voice. Shouldn't I be?
Remember Gunner Kane?
What? What'd you say? What about Kane?
Came out of Parkhurst jail this morning.
No. But he was up for life. It's a minimum of 20 years. He's not due out for another 5.
That's what I thought. As a result of a telephone call, I've been making inquiries. There was a riot in the jail. He saved the governor's life, got a 5-year remission. He's out all right.
So why wasn't I warned? Now, this is...
Why are you so worried,
What?
Mr. Bailey? You defended him, remember?
Have you forgotten? You presented the case for the police. Surely you must have read of the marriage.
Married?
Yes. I married his wife, Sheila.
Oh, you did you? How long ago was that?
It's over 13 years ago.
Took me over an hour to trace you, Mr. Bailey. I see you're no longer practicing law.
No. I've been running this hotel for the last 10 years. You know, I shall have to demand police protection.
Why? Because you married his wife? She divorced him, didn't she?
You don't understand. I knew Gunner better than anybody. I defended him, didn't I? He's a killer. A vicious swine that'll stop at nothing. Come to think of it, Inspector Carr, you're the murder squad. Why have you contacted me? What's it all about?
Somebody phoned the yard to tell us that Gunner is out of jail and was about to live up to his nickname. He is gunning for you.
Now, listen, Inspector. You've got to help me. Who was it that telephoned?
I don't know. Could have been Gunner himself. But if I were you, I wouldn't go out alone at night. Keep your windows locked. After all, he has got a motive for revenge. It could be 2 things. 100,000 smackers or a wife.
Car's outside, Inspector. I still don't know why you haven't pulled Gunner in.
No, because it isn't necessary. A man that kills a policeman doesn't just walk out of the prison gates, sniff the free air, and is allowed to go his own way. No, he's been tailed ever since the prison gates shut on him. He's been warned I'm coming to see him.
I suppose I should have baked you a cake, knowing that Sergeant Carr was paying me a visit.
Inspector now, Gunner. It's been a long time.
You talk about a long time. How long do you think it is in a jail?
If you think I feel sorry for you, think again. You shot and killed P.C. Ballantyne. You're a lucky man you're not in a wooden box.
So what do you want? Revenge? Because I shot a fellow policeman? I've done my time, ain't I?
Yeah, you've done your time. You served your punishment. You tell me you shed a lot of guts. Saved the governor's life. No black marks. Full remission of sentence, including an additional 5.
So what? But what are you really after? The 100,000? No one ever did find it, did they?
Quite true. There's a small matter of 100,000 quid unaccounted for.
So I heard in jail. Don't think that I was surprised when the flatty shadowed me all day. Now you come to see me. Oh, save your breath. I don't know where the money is. Except... Well, except that double-crossing Bailey. He stole my wife. How do I know he didn't take the loot?
So you don't know where the loot is?
Every few months, if it isn't a copper, it's an insurance bloke. I keep telling everyone I don't know. That's what was killing me, stuck in jail for all those years. For doing a job and then not getting a nickel out of it.
You were stuck in jail for killing a policeman.
Yes, I know. I'm lucky, I suppose, I didn't swing. Everybody keeps telling me that. Sure, I'm lucky. But I didn't mean to kill him, you know that.
Let's not go over that again. You shot a constable to evade arrest. That's murder.
Yes, I know. Well, I learnt my lesson, didn't I? They'll never get me inside again. I'm going straight.
What are you going to do to Bailey?
Why'd you ask that? Has he got the money? If he has, I'll kill him, so help me, I'll kill him.
That's what somebody told me you were going to do. Kill Bailey. Where were you at about 5:30 yesterday?
Ah, come off it, Inspector. There was 2 flat feet standing right beside me when I had my first whiskey in the Holland Arms.
Why did you threaten to kill Bailey?
Did I? Oh, I suppose I might have done now and again inside. Wondering.
About what? Your wife or the 100,000?
I can keep Sheila. Anyway, I couldn't blame her knowing I was going inside for life. 15 years, a long time. Long enough to cool off any woman.
So it is the 100,000.
I don't know. But if he didn't take it, who did?
There were only the 2 of you involved in the robbery. You and young Stocky Swanson. He was killed.
And Bailey. He wasn't in on the snatch, but he talked to Stocky before the youngster died. If you're after the 100,000, it's no good coming to me. So am I. I don't know where it is, but I mean to find out.
At the moment, I'm not after anything in particular. I'd like to wrap up the case that started 15 years ago. But, Gunner, I'd rather prevent murder than punish the murderer. Get the idea?
Be your age, Carr. Do you think I want to go back inside?
Or swing? They brought capital punishment back, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Let's go over the day you did the snatch. You handled the 100,000, didn't you?
Yeah. Everything was going fine. If it hadn't been...
I know. If you say you haven't got the money, and I don't think you have, who took it?
Well, you know how it was.
Look at it. The Bow Industrial Township. Mile after mile of smoking factories.
Factories need wages, and we're carrying 100,000 pounds worth. That's what gives us our job.
Without these factories, they wouldn't want the services of Strong Old Transport Limited.
We're due there in 10 minutes.
Only another mile to go.
What has happened? Right, you just stay where you are if you know what's good for you. All right, Stocky, take their keys. Come on, hurry.
My mate, what's happened with my mate?
He'll live. Now, don't move. You've only got a few scratches.
Here you are. I've got it.
Right. Let's get in the car and scram.
Hey, what's going on here?
Come on, start up the car. Get out of the way, you fool.
Roadblock ahead. Look.
Through that farm gate.
There you are. Where is he, Gunner?
We're in some private wood. Here, stop the car.
What you gonna do?
I'm going to hide the swag. This car's hot. Look, we'll put the money there. We'll dig a hole by that tree. Now get back on the main road and then ditch the car.
Let's hope we don't forget where we put that 100,000, Smackers.
It's hot money for wage package. Neither of us will go near that spot for 6 months. We'll grab it and skip the country. Me, Sheila, and you. Okay, kid?
Okay. Hey, look in the mirror. We've been tailed.
Step on it then.
I'll get as fast as I can. There's a cop car in front, too.
Get off the road, you fool. Get off the road. Jump the curb.
does your heart good to bake a maple cake, then see them ask for more.
Feather light, fine textured and rich tasting. That's how your cakes will turn out every time you use maple margarine. Maple margarine is rich in flavor, rich in vitamins too.
It does your heart good to bake a maple cake, then see them ask for more.
Maple.
It's got lift. It's got lift. Purine pastry's got lift because purine is pure. Purine pastry is light, fluffy, and full of lift.
With Purine Pure Cooking Fat, you get the taste of your own good cooking.
You know what happened, Inspector Carr. Kid died in hospital and I went up for life.
Yes, I know. You after the judge?
Me? The judge? What for?
That's what we were tipped off.
I'll tell you straight, Inspector. There was only 3 people who knew where we hid the money. Stocky, me, and I told my wife, Sheila. When she got there, the money had gone, so she said. Then she marries the guy that's supposed to defend me. I'll tell you this, if I find that they took the money, I'll do them both. I swear it. I'm warning you now in advance.
I don't believe they did double-cross you. You know he was struck off the rolls about 2 years after you went inside. They run a second-rate hotel in Croydon. If they'd got the money, all they had to do was to skip the country and live in luxury for the rest of their lives.
Well, that's all very well. The way I hid that money, nobody could have found it accidentally.
Yet there is someone else. Who sent that mysterious phone call? That's what I'd like to know. My need for this knowledge became acute less than an hour after my talk with Gunner Kane. Yeah?
Operations here, Inspector.
Oh, what is it this time?
Bailey, sir. Gunner Kane case. Found shot, bullet through his head. Gunner Kane's been picked up, sir.
You don't say. Where's he being held?
Croydon, sir.
Right. I'll be right over.
I didn't do it, Inspector. I swear I
Where's
didn't.
Mrs. Bailey?
I can tell you that, sir. As soon as she heard that the gunner was out, she panicked and went and stayed with her sister in Dublin. She's there now. Made a statement to the Dublin CID less than 10 minutes ago.
Oh, that clears her. What's the story? No, you speak first, Kane. How did you come to be picked up?
I've been framed. It's a dirty police trick. They still believe I got the money.
Cut all the nonsense. What happened?
Well, about an hour ago, I get a telephone call, see? Some geezer, he says to me,
Gunner Kane, I've been trying to trace you for a long time. You go along to Bailey tonight. You'll learn all about the 100,000 quid.
how do you know? Who are you?
Never you mind. You're not going to let him get away with it, are you? You don't want poor old Stucky Swanson to die for nothing, do you? Meningeal hemorrhage ain't a pleasant death, you know. He'd have wanted you to
What are you saying? Who are you?
I'm saying that if you get to Bailey's house exactly 9 o'clock tonight, I'll see to it that you get your 100,000. See you later. 28 Park Road, Croydon.
Hello? Hello?
And so you went to 28 Park Road, Croydon, did you?
Yes, I did. It's only about 30 yards away from the hotel they managed. There's a light on in the porch. I goes through, front door's open, and I hears a shot. Well, I didn't know what to do for a moment. I mean, I rushes into the sitting room, no one there. Looks in the bedroom. There's Ernie Bailey with a bullet through his head. Gun on the floor. I was about to run out, and a couple of digs nabbed me.
The doctor looked at the body.
Yes, sir. He'd been killed within a matter of minutes of arresting Kane. The gun had its number filed off. It was all right.
The sort of gun you use, eh, Gunner?
Nah, must have been mad to fall for a telephone call. Look, I didn't do it, Inspector.
We've taken a quick powder test, Inspector, but it looks very much like the gunner's fingerprint on the gun.
I know. I kept telling them before you arrived. I picked the gun up. I was in a daze. Then I dropped it again.
You there. Were you tailing Kane?
Yes, sir. We saw him go into the house. We heard the pistol shot and rushed and arrested him.
Gunner, you killed a policeman, and I see no reason to go out of my way to protect you. They'll have to pull you in on circumstantial evidence. Maybe you'll be safer inside. We'll hold you for questioning. That means you'll have the usual privileges. When I find the killer, we'll set you free.
But, Inspector, you mean to say that...
I've said what I have to say. All right, take him away. Jackson, you come back to the yard with me. As the worthy Jackson and I drove in the police car, I kept dwelling on the anonymous call I'd received. But what about Gunner Kane's story? Could have made the whole thing up, of course. It could be. But all the factors suggested otherwise. Back at the yard, I used our vast and highly efficient machine to turn back the clock. I want you to take careful note of the dossier X branch has prepared for us.
Right, sir.
I want to know the hospital Stocky Swanson went to, who attended him, everything.
Very good, sir.
My compliments to Inspector Wilson. I want this to be made top priority operation.
Right, sir.
I want to be informed as soon as you get something definite, whether it's day or night.
It'll be done, sir.
Good, jump to it. The most exciting moments for a detective are when he knows instinctively that he's on the right trail. That from then on, it's a matter of patience, time, and success. Yes?
Operations here, Inspector. Got what you wanted, sir?
Good man.
We've got the admittance card when young Swanson was admitted to the Bow District General Hospital. He arrived at 12:20 p.m. and died at 2:30 a.m. the following morning. The people who attended him are Dr. Alfred Parsfold and Nurse Margaret Lance.
Yes, well, I'm retired now, but of course I remember it. It isn't often one gets mixed up in a highway robbery and murder case.
Was he conscious when you attended him?
No, he was not. No, I gave him some X14, that cerebral wound caused by the accident. He remained conscious or semi-conscious until he died the following morning. They telephoned to tell me he was dead about 2:30. The duty surgeon certified him dead.
The night orderly told me the patient was in a very bad way. By the time I got to him, he was practically gone. We had anticipated it, of course. It was only a question of time.
And so it went on and on. Not an easy task, trying to trace all those who were connected with the admittance of a young bandit, however remotely. Then came the search for the orderly, who was on duty at the hospital that fatal night. He was now a middle-aged man living in the highly respectable town of Leamington Spa. As the police car sped through the lodge gates along the avenue of trees to come to a stop outside the type of dwelling known as a country gentleman's residence, I knew that my investigations were drawing to a close. Mr. Collins, you were at one time a hospital orderly at the Bow District General Hospital.
Yes. It's a long time ago. Why do you ask me?
Long time ago or not, you were the night orderly that called the duty surgeon to the dying Swanson.
Swanson, who was he? I don't remember anyone called Swanson.
Come, Mr. Collins, one of the most dramatic hold-ups ever known in British criminal history. There you were by the bedside of this young bandit and you don't remember.
Oh, yes, I do remember something about it now.
That's better. Well, let me jog your memory a little further, Mr. Collins. As a male nurse, it was your duty to keep an hourly log as to the condition of the patient brought in on an emergency.
Oh, yes.
Well, I've got your log with me. It says 12:30 a.m., gave patient half a gram of X14 as prescribed. Patient delirious. Do you remember him being delirious, Mr. Collins?
Well, how can I? It's 15 years ago. If I write that on the hospital log report, then it was, sir.
I noticed that some 4 weeks after this occurrence, you resigned from the hospital.
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Collins, we've been checking up on you pretty thoroughly, and despite your undoubted affluence, we can't trace your means of support.
I don't know what you're getting at. I'm one of the major shareholders in Leamington Engineering Works. I own all the land on the bluff. I don't know what you mean when you say you can't trace my...
I'm sorry if I've not made myself clear. You were a penniless young hospital nurse, and yet you found it possible to give up your employment in great comfort. Why did you warn me that Kane might kill Bailey?
I don't know what you mean. Me warn you?
You said that now that Kane was out, he would go gunning for the judge and Bailey. Why? Why did you? Oh, come on, don't stall. On the very day he left...
I didn't telephone anybody.
Who said anything about telephone? How did you know I was telephoned? But since I'm here, I'll do a bit of telephoning.
Number, please.
Inspector Carr here. I want to know whether anybody put through a trunk call on the 21st to Stepney 8654.
Very good, sir.
Phone it back here, will you?
Right, it won't take long.
Well, I did telephone London. I wanted to inquire about... I heard that this fella Kane had... he come out of jail.
That was a very careless thing to do. Why should you be interested in Gunner Kane?
Well, he was involved, wasn't he?
Did you go up to London that day?
No.
Collins, you're a fool. The station master saw you. You caught the 3:45 p.m. to London. Up... Oh. Don't move, Collins. Hello?
Inspector Carr? Yes, there was a telephone call from the number you're speaking at.
That's all I want to know. Where'd you get the gun from?
What gun?
The gun you shot Bailey with.
You're mad. I didn't.
Albert Collins, I arrest you on a charge of murdering Ernest Bailey.
I don't mind telling you, Inspector. I thought I was a goner. Bloke with my reputation with me fingerprint on a pistol and Bailey lying stiff at me feet.
You're lucky that Collins made one or two silly mistakes, such as mentioning a telephone call. When how would he have known how I was warned about you?
I believe he's pleading guilty.
What else could he do? You see, all those years ago, when we were looking for the stolen money, no one dreamt that the clue lay in a general hospital. Bailey used his brains. He knew that if his wife wasn't lying, someone else must have known about the £100,000, where it was hidden. But who could it be? The money was hidden on the spur of the moment, not many minutes before you and Swanson crashed the car. Oh, you were shaken all right with compos mentis. Swanson caught his head on the steering wheel, badly hurt. Bailey worked it out that it must have been somebody at the hospital. He traced the orderly, began to blackmail him. Collins reasoned if ever Bailey told you what happened to the money, the ex-hospital nurse's life would be a short one. That's why he hit on the scheme of getting rid of both of you by telephoning me that you were out and threatening Bailey's life, and then telephoning you so that you'd be near the scene of the crime when he shoots Bailey. He knew we'd have you tailed, and as soon as the shot was heard, my boys would rush in and arrest you. It's funny that I never thought of the hospital before. Would have saved Bailey's life.
What put you onto the orderly this time, Governor?
Oh, it's quite simple, really. You see... Well, listener, did you notice the clue that led me directly to the hospital orderly? Simple, really. Not sure. Listen to this, and then I'll be back to tell you.
How you hear the children yowl when they hear the dinner bell. Yes, indeed. And here's a maple menu that will have them sitting at the table before the bell rings. Appetite-teasing brinjals, deep-fried in wholesome maple margarine, a touch of garlic, nutmeg, rice, and tomato sauce, topped with crumbed Niblets cheese twists. The main dish, Bengal lamb curry and rice. And to finish, marshmallow pudding, an old-fashioned dessert that I'm sure will be a hot favorite with the whole family. To round off the meal, a cup of piping hot coffee. Delicious. If you'd like a free copy of this mouth-watering maple menu, just write to Maple Home Dinners, P.O. Box 89, Johannesburg. And remember, there's more to the flavor of good food cooked with maple margarine.
Well, what was the clue that led me to the hospital where Stocky Swanson was admitted so many years ago, and then to the killer of Bailey? Well, if you remember, the mysterious voice telephoning Kane in order to incriminate him in the murder he didn't commit said...
Never you mind. You're not going to let him get away with it, are you? You don't want poor old Stucky Swanson to die for nothing, do you? Meningeal hemorrhage isn't a pleasant death, you know.
That was his undoing. He talks of young Swanson's injuries 15 years ago and uses a phrase like meningeal hemorrhage. It had to be somebody who not only was at the hospital at the time, but someone directly acquainted with medical terms. The moral of the story: never hide stolen loot in a hospital. It'll go to your head. Good night.
The epic Casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
Good evening. Motor racing is fast becoming one of the major spectator sports in the world. As a young boy, I used to go occasionally to Brooklands to watch Sir Malcolm Campbell, Seagrave, and the various other giants of the period. But in recent years, apart from glancing at newspaper reports of the major events, I cannot class myself as one of those highly informed about the sport. Nevertheless, when I received a call from the Kent County Constabulary informing me that Rick Lester was dead, apparently murdered, and asking for immediate assistance from the yard, I knew who they were talking about. Rick Lester was one of the brightest of that select galaxy of stars, the Grand Prix drivers. And since he had signed a contract with the Turnbull racing team, it appeared to be a combination with world champion written all over it. But let me tell you about it. I've called my story, The Grand Prix is Death. Taking Sergeant Jackson with me, I arranged for a car and left at once for the Grand Prix circuit at Brands Hatch. Well, Jackson, it strikes me that this might be a case where some specialized knowledge may be useful. What do you know about motor racing?
Oh, I'm not an expert, sir. But these last few years, since British cars and drives have been showing the foreigners the way around, I've certainly followed it rather more closely. Read one or two magazines which deal with it and that sort of thing.
Well, I suppose they're all at Brands Hatch for the British Grand Prix, hmm?
Yeah, that's on Saturday. Just the official practice sessions they're holding today and tomorrow.
And Lester was one of the brighter boys, hmm? Still, it's a dangerous sport. If someone told me that he'd been killed in a smash, I wouldn't have been surprised. But murder?
Yes, sir. Does seem odd, doesn't it? Mind you, there are a lot of people who have been surprised if he had a smash. One of the safest drivers of the Formula One car. Had a wonderful record.
Oh, here we are. That must be the Turnbull pit over there, where the other police cars are parked. They look a bit out of place in these surroundings.
Inspector Carr?
Yes.
Oh, hello, sir. I'm Jones, Kent CID.
How do you know?
Glad you were able to get here so quickly. This is a wretched business. Someone like Lester, well, it's national news. Our chief constable thought the best thing would be to call him in at once.
Oh, tell me about it. Oh, and make it simple, Jones. It's not easy to concentrate with this din going on.
Oh, this is nothing, sir. Very few of the cars are out now. You should hear it when they're all out on the circuit. Well, it happened about 2:30. Lester had been out testing the car, and after some 20 laps, he came in, got out of the car, and picked up a drink from the pit counter, and that was that. Looks as though it was cyanide.
Cyanide?
That's what our doctor says. You can still smell it in the paper cup he used. The official report should be through any minute. We had the body taken down to the mortuary, sir. There was no reason to keep it here.
But cyanide? Wouldn't Lester have noticed it as he started to drink? Are you sure there isn't a chance of suicide?
Well, I suppose at the moment we must consider suicide as a vague possibility, but why, sir? Doesn't seem to be any reason.
Oh, have to check on that.
And as to the smell, it seems it was a habit of Lester's to get straight out of a car and grab his fruit juice. It had been waiting for him on the pit counter. I should think he could have swallowed quite a bit before he noticed anything was wrong. And of course, by then it was too late. Anyway, Inspector, have a look at the setup and talk to Clive Turnbull. He can tell you more about it.
The Turnbull pit was a dejected place. Several mechanics were standing in a group, talking in lowered voices. Lester's car remained just where it stopped it at the end of his practice run, and Clive Turnbull was slumped on a small canvas stool with his head in his hands. Leaving Jackson to take statements from the mechanics, I asked Turnbull if there wasn't somewhere a little more private where we could talk. He suggested the circuit manager's office.
We won't be disturbed in here, Inspector.
Mr. Turnbull, I'm a little out of my depth on the subject of motor racing. Perhaps you could fill in the background as to yourself, your cars, and exactly how Rick Lester fitted in.
Yes, of course. I used to be chief designer for the Thompson Group.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of ideas about design which were too way out for mass production. And a few years ago, an uncle died and left me a sizable fortune. So I took a chance to do what I'd always wanted to do, design for myself. Dived right in at the deep end and constructed my first Formula One car.
I see.
Oh, I was lucky. Some of the ideas really worked. Mind you, that first car was primitive compared to the ones we're racing at the moment.
And Rick Lester?
Well, there again I was lucky. At first, I had to take what I could get. Then, last year, I signed Oscar Nevin. Well, he's good, I'll admit that. Drives to win, but temperamentally, he was no good for what I wanted, and after what happened at Monza last year, I tore up his contract.
Monza?
Yes, the Italian Grand Prix. Let himself get caught up on the eve of the race party and turned up at the circuit quite incapable of driving. I had to withdraw the car and put out a cock and bull story about him being suddenly taken ill. I'd got to know Lester well, and we thought on the same lines about car development and racing. And this year, he refused to re-sign with Tomasini, although he was offered a better contract, and came to me.
And you worked well together?
Wonderfully. That's why we've been having such a successful season. You see, Inspector, a Formula One car is a very sophisticated lady. To get the best out of her, there's got to be a complete understanding between the people who dress her up and the person who actually takes her out.
And Lester supplied the link, and Nevin didn't?
Yes. That was something Oscar never understood. Didn't help him to like Rick any better, quite apart from blaming him for the Monza fiasco.
How was that?
Well, Rick took Nevin to the party. What if he did? Rick never intended that Oscar should make a night of it.
And what's happened to Nevin since?
I don't quite know how he lives. Oh, he gets the odd sports car drive now and then, but the true story of Monza was pretty well known in our little world, and he's never had another Formula One drive. Just seems to hang around on the fringe. Point of fact, he was in our pit for a few moments this afternoon.
You still speak to him?
Well, what's over is over. Although at the time I could cheerfully have killed him. And he's just his own worst enemy.
Getting back to today, do you think that there's any chance that it could have been suicide?
Oh, that's impossible. Oh, apart from getting the best out of his car, Rick hadn't a worry in the world.
You're probably right, but we had to check. There may have been something on his mind that even you didn't know about.
Well, if that was so, plenty of places on the circuit where he could have just kept his foot down and wiped himself out. That's the way Rick would have done it, doing the thing he loved. Oh, today was quite normal. He stopped the car and went straight for his fruit juice.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Turnbull. Oh, there may be some more questions later on, but that's all for now. After Mr. Turnbull had left, I sat thinking over what he had told me. Suicide did seem unlikely, but if not, why murder? And who was responsible? Carr speaking.
Jones here, Inspector. I've just got the doctor's report. It was cyanide, and there are still traces in the cup he used.
I see. Did the doctor say anything else?
He hasn't had time to do a full check, sir, but there doesn't seem to have been anything organically wrong with Lester.
Thank you. What about the cup?
It's been checked for prints, smudges mainly, but we'll try to match them with people who are known to have handled it.
Good. Let me know if you find anything. Come in. Ah, Jackson. Any news?
Oh, nothing much, sir. Hundreds of people could have had the chance to doctor that drink. On a day like this, there are no end of unofficial people wandering about in the pits. Newspapermen trying to get information, people from other teams, the pit marshals walking along in front of the counter, and just ordinary spectators who really have no right to be there. But it is difficult to keep them out.
Yes. Oh, it doesn't help us much, does it?
No, sir. The actual pit crew had been busy. Earlier on, Lester's car had had a bit of trouble with the metering system on the fuel injection. And then, when they'd sorted that out, they were all watching or timing the car. It beat the lap record 8 times in the 20 laps.
And no one noticed anybody touching the cup?
No, sir.
Oh, there's not much to go on. I'll go through all the statements later, probably talk to the mechanics. Mr. Turnbull did give me something that might be a lead. See if you can find one of his ex-drivers, Oscar Nevin. He's here somewhere.
Nevin? Oh, they had a bust-up last season, didn't they?
Yes.
But it was Turnbull he fought with. Now, why should
I don't know, but it might be a lead.
Yeah. Right, sir. If he's here, I'll find him.
The more I heard about this case, the more difficult it seemed it was going to be. The method had been very clever. Obviously, there were dozens of people who had had the chance to drop the cyanide into the cup with very little chance of being spotted. The cyanide itself might help to simplify things. After all, it isn't the easiest poison to obtain. But I foresaw a vast amount of questioning and checking in front of us. It wasn't long, though, before I was able to start on the process. Jackson soon returned with Oscar Nevin. Sit down, please, Mr. Nevin. It's a very sad affair.
Very. But I don't see how I can help, Inspector.
Possibly not, but we're going to have to question everyone who was in the Turnbull pit this afternoon.
Oh, I was only there for a few moments. I never went near his grapefruit juice. I just looked in to see whether he'd sorted out their fuel problem.
You used to drive for Mr. Turnbull, I gather.
Yes. And with Rick dead, I probably will again. That car's fast, but you've got to have someone with real ability to handle it.
You aren't driving at the moment?
I haven't got a regular formula drive. There are a couple of teams nibbling, but we're still working out details of a contract. Mind you, there's plenty of sports cars stuff. That keeps me busy.
Mm-hmm. Does it pay well?
Well enough. And I pick up a little extra selling stuff to the papers. They always go for the inside stuff, you know. That's what I was doing this afternoon, nosing around to see if I could pick up a story.
Any luck?
A few bits and pieces. The boys are more likely to talk in front of me than the regular press.
I gather you weren't exactly friendly with Rick Lester.
I suppose someone has told you about the Monza incident. At the time, I shot my mouth off and blamed Rick. I suppose in a way I still do. I'd planned to go to bed early that night. You need all your wits about you on a pig of a circuit like Monza. And it was Rick's suggestion that we went to this party. But looking back on it, it certainly wasn't his fault that I had too much to drink.
So you made it up?
Never really talked about it, Inspector. You asked me if we were friendly. I don't think I've ever been friendly with another driver. It doesn't pay, you know. Sooner or later, there comes a time when you have to carve them up out on the track, and you can't do that if you feel sentimental about them.
In your opinion, was Rick Lester a good driver?
Oh, yes. One of the best. But only one of the best. He'd win if everything went right for him. But the real top boy is the one who will battle through to win against the odds. I think he made driving too much of a thing of sticking to a set plan.
Like this thing of always having to have a drink the moment he got out of the car?
Yes, that too, I suppose. No, that was more like a signature tune. I suppose we all have something like that. I always stick a couple of cigarettes in the pocket of my overalls. No matches, of course. But if I'm stuck somewhere out on the circuit, there's always someone who'll give me a light.
Yes, I see. So you think you might drive again for Turnbull?
I might. Obviously, he hasn't asked me yet. But he's got to find someone. And formula drivers don't grow on trees.
Well, thank you, Mr. Nevin. Sergeant Jackson will take your address in case there's something else we need to ask you about. Despite his assurance and rather obvious good looks, which I'm sure made him a success with women, there was a slight desperateness about Oscar Nevin, which made me wonder whether things weren't going quite as well as he made out. The local police said they would provide an office for me, but before leaving, I went to have a last look with Jackson at the now deserted pit.
What exactly are we looking for, sir?
Oh, let's go through this rubbish by the pit counter, see if there's anything that looks out of place.
Wouldn't it be better for the local boys to sweep the whole lot up and sort it down at the station? The light's not going to last here much longer.
That's a good idea, Jackson. Well, you get that organized while I go through my notes. See you at the station. The office, which the Kent County Constabulary had provided me with, was quite adequate, and in any event, I hoped that my investigations in the Brands Hatch area were not going to take too long. I'd hardly settled in when Sergeant Jackson arrived.
A bit cramped, sir.
Why, it's not quite like the yard, but it'll do.
We've got all the rubbish from the Turnbull pit area. What are you hoping to find, sir?
I'd be more than interested in any glass.
I'll tell them.
And just because we're away, there's no need for them to go to sleep at the yard. There's something which will keep them all busy.
Scotland Yard operations.
Car speaking.
Oh, hello, sir. How's the motor racing?
Noisy. I want an all-stations inquiry. Check on all chemists for any unusual sale of cyanide over the last 4 weeks.
Righto, sir.
While they're about it, they might as well list all sales of the stuff, whether regular or not, for the period.
Righto, got it, sir.
That'll keep them on the hop.
Yes. I don't expect much from it, but has to be done.
Oh, you never know, sir. I'll go and type out the statements.
As in so many investigations of a murder or any other crime, hours are spent sitting at a desk reading and rereading reports and statements, endeavoring to see whether some point has been missed, which will provide the vital lead to set us off in the right direction. The following morning, I was doing just this when the phone rang. Car speaking.
Jones here, sir. Could you come across to the lab? I think we've found what you're looking for.
I'll be right over.
Well, we had no luck last night, sir. Nothing in the stuff we brought back from the circuit seemed the least bit out of the ordinary. So at first light this morning, we went back with a suction machine, one of those glorified vacuum cleaners, and lifted the top layer of dirt.
What'd you find?
Just come over here, sir, and look through this microscope. Here we are, sir.
Ah, that's more like it. Thin slivers of glass. What do you make of that curve in the one on the left?
Well, sir, I thought it might be part of the end of a small capsule.
That's exactly what I think. Have any of these bits been tested?
Well, our chemist is working on them now, sir, but the fragments are very small, you know.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, that's all right, Bell. This is Inspector Carr.
Oh, good morning, sir.
Morning, Bell. Any luck?
Oh, it's very difficult with such small fragments, sir. Especially when they must have had at least 18 hours exposure.
Yes, indeed.
But I think there is ample proof that they have been in contact with cyanide.
Some of the pieces were at last beginning to fall into place. I now knew the probable means whereby the cyanide was introduced into the drink, but I was still as far away as ever from knowing who did it. There seemed to be nothing more I could get from the statements taken the day before, so I decided to go over the story again with the people concerned, starting with Clive Turnbull. Sorry to have to go over all this again, Mr. Turnbull, but sometimes the memory plays strange tricks. I thought perhaps something new might have come to your mind.
Nothing. I've gone over the period again and again in my mind. Naturally, I've pulled the team out of the race.
They haven't fixed a replacement driver?
No, it's not going to be that easy.
When I was talking to Oscar Nevin, he hinted you might recall him.
Oh, that's what he probably hopes. As I explained, quite apart from what happened in the past, he's not the right driver for my cars.
Could he be vindictive? Have you ever heard him utter threats?
Against Rick?
Yes.
Oh, no, never. Oh, besides, that's ridiculous. If he wanted to put his knife into anyone, surely it'd have been me. I sacked him.
Oh, it's just an idea. Tell me, this drink of Lester's, I gather it was a regular habit. Everyone knew about it,
Yes, I suppose they did. It wasn't really a gimmick, as some people try to make out. Although Rick was beautifully built for a driver, he sweated a great deal in the car and always came in with a thirst. He was just replacing the fluid he lost.
I see from my notes that it was actually Archie Mather who poured it. I think I'd better have a word with him.
Now look here, Inspector, you've got to get the dirty swine who killed Rick. He was the greatest lad that ever got into a car. Now, you can keep your Fangios and Sterling Mosses. Rick could have knocked them all into a cocked hat.
Well, I'm sure you're right, Mr. Mather, and I promise you I intend to find the culprit.
You do that, and I'll help you string him up my tail.
Yes, but at the moment, perhaps you could help me find him. Just calm down and go over the facts once again.
All right.
You've worked for Mr. Turnbull for some years.
I started with him when he set up on his own.
As a mechanic?
That's right, but now I specialise on suspensions. Of course, we can all do any job on the cars, but my special department is on the suspension.
Very important department, I gather.
Why, it is. Mind you, we had that car handling so well, it was like a train running on rails.
I see. So there was nothing to upset him yesterday?
Not mechanically, as far as my side of it went. Mind you, it had been a pig of a day in other ways. We were late at the circuit for a start. The transporter had a puncture.
Transporter?
It's the big truck that takes the cars. It's fitted out like a workshop inside. It means we can do almost any repairs on the spot. Then, of course, there was the fuel injection trouble.
You were the one who actually poured out the drink for Lester.
Aye, I was. And there would have been a fair old row about that if he wasn't dead.
Row? Why, what was the matter?
It wasn't orange. Rick always wanted pure orange juice. And for some unknown reason, the shop where he always picked it up was out of it. We were late and there was no time to go anywhere else, so I just had to take the grapefruit. Not that he didn't like that, mind you, but it was always the orange juice he wanted when he got out the car.
I see. I suppose you get to know the drivers well.
You get to know their habits. But with Rick, since he joined Turnbull's, it's been just like a happy family.
So if he had any worries or troubles, you would have heard about them. What about women? He wasn't married, I gather.
I don't think he had a worry in the world. And he didn't care about girls, at least not seriously. He always said that cars were temperamental enough for him. Cars were his only love.
Yes, that's the impression I gathered from Mr. Turnbull. Well, thank you, Mr. Mather. Talking to the people most concerned with Rick Lester seemed to have done little except to fill in some detail to the background of this case. And I was wondering what my next step should be when suddenly I remembered something and knew I had the answer.
Strange.
Is Sergeant Jackson there?
Yes, sir. I'll put him on. Yes, sir?
Jackson, take every man Jones can spare and find Oscar Nevin.
Here I am, sir.
Pretty sure. Be gentle with him, though. I don't want him in being frightened and doing something silly. Tell him there are a couple of points I want to clear up.
Right, sir.
Come in.
Mr. Nevin, sir.
Oh, come in, Mr. Nevin.
Now, look here, Inspector. I really can't see why you've got to drag me down here. I've told you all I know, and I've got a job to do.
Yes, that's just the point, Mr. Nevin. I don't think you have told me everything. For a start, where did you get the cyanide?
Cyanide? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you seriously suggesting I had something to do with Lester's death?
Yes.
But this is nonsense. You can't have any proof.
I think I have. Oscar Nevin, I'm charging you with the suspicion of murdering Rick Lester, and I must warn you that anything you say may be taken down. Yes, I was sure I had the proof. Did you notice the slip of the tongue which made me so sure? Well, listen to the commercial, and I'll be back in a few minutes to tell you. Well, did you spot the clue that led me inevitably to the murderer of Rick Lester? It was during my first interview with Nevin.
I don't see how I can help you, Inspector.
Possibly not, but we're going to have to question everyone who was in Turnbull's pit this afternoon.
Well, I was only there for a few moments, and I never went near his grapefruit juice.
Well, there you are. Unless he had been very near to that cup of fruit juice, how did he know it was grapefruit? Remember, Archie Mather had told me that Rick Lester always insisted on pure orange juice. Later, Nevin made a full confession. He had obtained the cyanide in Germany some time before, where it was being sold as a souvenir of the type of poison some of the war criminals used on being arrested. He was in serious financial trouble and thought that if he could eliminate Lester, he would go back to Turnbull and once again be on the road to success. Oh, the moral of the story? Well, ever since Eve, there's always been a risk of poison in the fruit. Good night.
The Epic Casebook was produced by Michael Silver for the makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Maple Margarine, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, and Niblets Cheese Twists, with Hugh Russ as Inspector Carr. Listen again next Thursday night at 9:30 to another exciting story from our Epic Casebook.
Enjoy brighter radio listening with Blaupunkt Radiogram's automatic pre-select tuning.
Großes op die tafel.
The makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Purine and Pret Cooking Fat, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, Maple Margarine, and Niblets Cheese Twists present the Epic Casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
Good evening. A fortnight ago, I told you of an investigation from my Epic Casebook of Crime, during which we at Scotland Yard became almost bogged down in an overabundance of clues. This brought forth a letter from a keen and regular correspondent, Mr. Albert Woods, who complained that because of the surfeit of clues, he failed to spot the vital one, the one that eventually led me to the murderer. Fair enough. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story where there were only 3 suspects. One of them had to be the killer. And it was an investigation that might have proved abortive had it not been for one important factor. Well, I'd better not tell you too much about it now, except to say that I've called my story Too Close a Shave.
on duty. What happened?
Man identified as Ernest Longley, sir. Found with his head bashed in.
Found where?
A cheap hotel in the East India Dock Road, sir.
Docks, eh? Sailor?
Yes, sir. We found papers on him. He just come off the Flying Albatross.
Where's the body now?
Still there, sir. Name of the hotel is Wellington, 164 East India Dock Road.
Anybody looked at the corpse? Do they know when he was killed?
No, sir. The information's just been flashed through.
All right. I came up in the lift with the chief surgeon. I'll ask Dr. McPherson to come. Keep your eyes skinned, driver. We're near the spot. Yes, sir.
164, you say? We're reaching the hundreds now. You know, I haven't been down this part of the world in ages. Must be as polyglot a district as you'll find anywhere.
Sergeant Thompson will be on the lookout for us. Hey, he's a good man, Thompson. He's in charge of the submariner. Oh, here we are. Pull up, driver.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Seems as though you've got a nice, juicy murder on your hands, Sergeant.
Seems like it, sir.
I bet they keep you busy down here.
Oh, they certainly do, sir.
Salubrious-looking establishment. Before we go in, let's have your side of the story.
Oh, certainly, sir. I'd just come on duty. The manager of this so-called hotel rang me to say there'd been a murder committed.
I noticed you say so-called.
Well, you know what it is, sir, in a place like this. We pulled them in for every petty contravention.
Yes, quite. Go on.
Well, I nipped over here with Constable Jones. What's all this?
Up there, first floor, room 16. Give me quite a turn. Best room in the hotel he had. Blood all over it.
You say there was a murder committed?
Yes. Bashed his head in with a poker. He's lying there beside it.
Who bashed his head in?
Well, how do I know?
All right, show us where the body is. Who is he? Commercial traveller?
No, come off the Flying Albatross. She docked last night.
Did he have anybody with him?
Well, I don't know what you mean.
Come off it, you know what I mean. Did he have a girl with him?
Now, look here. This is a respectable... Here's the room.
Blimey. He'd had his head bashed in all that. Constable Jones, you'd better get through to the yard right away. We didn't touch anything, Inspector. We've got the print man working.
I see. What time did this sailor book in?
Oh, according to the manager, about 7 o'clock.
All right. Let's go in.
Like to lose me with job, this is. Having a murder on the premises.
Your name's Mills, I believe.
Yeah, that's right, Inspector.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Me? Not unless you've been to sea. Retired ship's mate, that's me.
All right, Frank Mills, How long have you been out?
I thought you wouldn't recognize me.
Oh, really?
But I did go to sea, mind you. As soon as I came out in the moor, prisoner's aid got me a job as a ship's cook.
And when did you stop being a ship's cook, Frank Mills?
2 years ago, when I got this here job. Got a bit too old for the sea. I've been straight ever since.
If I remember rightly, you were sent up for robbery with violence.
Inspector, you're not going to bring that up against me, are you? Yeah, I'm no murderer.
We'll see. Lead us to the body. The room was very much as I'd expected. An iron bedstead with blankets that looked as though they could do with a cleaning. An interesting point to observe was that the bed was made up. Obviously, it had not been slept in. The body of a middle-aged man lay face downwards on the floor. Fixed to the wall was a cheap wash basin, above it a glass ledge, and above that a mirror. Lying by the body was an iron poker. Well, it won't take you long to discover the cause of death, Mac.
Right, staring at us. Somebody certainly gave his cranium a wallop, didn't they? It's stuffy in here. Do you mind if I open the windows?
Oh, I'll do it, sir.
Even in this heated atmosphere, the body's stone cold. He's been dead some hours, all right. Hey, look at this, Inspector.
Huh? A lobby. Dried soap suds. Just a minute. Hey, look at this shaving brush. caked with shaving soap. What does that suggest?
Well, he was actually starting to shave, or was in the process of shaving, and then he was attacked.
Come on, Mills. Who was with him last night? And don't waste any time with your nonsense about being a respectable hotel.
No one, I swear
When did you see him last? Midnight, 1 o'clock?
I swear with my hand on the heart, I never saw him after he booked in at 7 o'clock.
How many people you got staying here?
No one.
No one.
The Wilhelmina was due in at 4 o'clock and the Dutch Cargo Shipping Company put their crew in. I can prove it to you. I've got the letter booking the rooms. You see, we only do a passing trade.
Passing trade. Quite a euphemism, isn't it?
Eh? What, Inspector?
Never mind. Mills, you're an old lag. You know the score. A sailor's booked in at your hotel and he's had his head bashed in. There's no one on the premises except you. Do you realize...
Of course I do. But I didn't do it. I swear it to you.
We'll see about that. Did anybody ask you for the use of any one of the rooms to entertain, shall we say, a friend?
No. Two blokes come in. They asked if they could book rooms.
What time was that?
About 6. I told them I only had one vacant room because of the Wilhelmina docking today.
What's that got to do with the booking of rooms last night?
Well, the Wilhelmina was due in last night. Don't you hear on the wireless about gale warnings? Hasn't half been blowing up here?
I'm giving you a get-out, Mills. Let's pretend for the moment you didn't bash his head in. What happened? Did you come in this morning, find him dead, and go through his pockets?
No, I swear.
Oh, come off it. He's just signed off. He hasn't had a shave in days. He wouldn't arrive in the hotel without a penny in his pocket. Where's his luggage?
I don't know. I swear I don't. I'll tell you. He came in, asked for a room, signed the register, told me he was off the Flying Albatross, and that was that.
Didn't you ask him to pay in advance? A joint like this?
Of course I did.
You did? And did he?
Yes, he gave me 12 and 6. All the coins he had.
Did he take the money out of his pocket or a wallet?
Not out of a wallet. Oh, I know what you're getting at, Inspector. Of course, he'd been paid off.
Son Thompson, did you get this man's identity from Mills?
Well, sir, he didn't have to, Inspector. I runs this place proper, I tell you. It's in the register. Ernest Longsley, American citizen, present address, Flying Albatross.
Did you know he was coming here?
No, sir, I swear I didn't.
All right, Sergeant. Take him downstairs into his cubbyhole, get him to make a full statement.
There you go, sir.
Out you go.
Now, look, Inspector,
Out you go. There's a good chap.
Well, you don't think he did it, do you?
Why'd you say that, Mac?
The way you ushered him up to the room, he seems to be the one and only suspect.
True. Can you tell the approximate time of death?
Approximate, no. For a sailor, he certainly didn't seem to like fresh air. But I'd say about 10 or 12 hours ago.
Let me see. It's somewhere about 9 o'clock last night.
Aye, somewhere in that region.
If Mills is telling the truth about the time of the man's arrival here, I'm sure he is. It's too easy to verify. He must have gone out again, then returned later. Looks as though I'm in for a little foot slogging around the docks.
You won't be needing the body, will you?
No. Oh, but make sure that your boys don't touch the poker when they're removing the corpse.
You know, it's strange seeing a fireplace and a poker in a place like this.
Not really. This was quite a salubrious district in the days of the sailing ships. I bet this was once the home of a merchant skipper or a retired slave trader.
Oh, well, I'll be getting along. Are you coming?
Not for the moment, Mac. I'll just stick around and see if I can find a little spot of illumination. With the departure of the police surgeon, I studied the room more closely. Apart from the bed, its clothing, toothbrush and shaving equipment, there was little else to hold my attention other than the obvious murder weapon and its victim. I bent down, examined the face. It was strong, rugged, with the typical creased eyes of a man who'd spent many, many hours scanning the horizon. There was a tinge of grey in the hair, the jersey, the heavy navy blue suiting, all told of his profession as a man who once sailed the seven seas. The case against Mills was formidable, at least so the crime solicitor would say. I began to look elsewhere for the culprit.
You there! You the skipper of this vessel? Sure, I'm the skipper. What do I look like, the greaser? If you come to sell something...
Hey, Ned, what's happened? Oh, Oh. Who's this?
This, madam, if you're referring to me, is Inspector Carr, New Scotland Yard. I've come to talk about a murder.
What's this Sophie Darfel? How you hear the children yell when they hear the dinner bell.
Yes, indeed, especially when you serve them food cooked with maple margarine. I have chosen lobster thermidor as the main dish for tonight's maple menu. Let's start the meal with Parma ham and pineapple, served with a bowl of crisp, crunchy Niblets cheese twists. To follow, lobster thermidor, rice, and a French salad. Round off this delicious meal with orange pudding and a cup of strong, fragrant coffee. If you would like a free copy of this mouth-watering maple menu, just write to Maple Home Dinners, P.O. Box 89, Johannesburg. And remember, there's more to the flavor of good food cooked with maple margarine.
As I set foot on the deck of the Flying Albatross, I took a quick look at the young lady who had wondered as to my presence. She was blonde, good-looking in a brash sort of way, and the mention of New Scotland Yard had taken all her perky self-assurance away from her.
New Scotland Yard?
Yes, I'm investigating the murder of a man who I believe was a member of this ship's crew. According to a document found on him, he was a Ernest Longley.
Hey, wait a minute. What did you say? Ernest? Ernie, my first mate, murdered?
He was murdered, all right. What's your name, Captain?
Ashton. Edward Ashton. Say, look, Inspector, I was a little rude to you just now.
No, that's all right. Anybody else aboard?
No, sir. There's none. Well, we only dropped anchor yesterday, and I signed everybody off. Well, I thought my friend here...
Yes, I got the message. Did you know where Longley spent last night?
No. No, I didn't.
What is it, miss? By your expression, you did.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that crap?
Nothing, miss. Nothing, other than the fact that you seem to be trying to tell me something.
Better tell the Inspector about what happened on board last night.
What did happen on board last night?
My first mate was insubordinate. We had a... well...
quarrel?
Yeah, that's right.
I see. When did you see him last, Captain Ashton?
Soon after we were all paid off by Mr. Hockman.
Hockman?
Yeah, he came aboard and paid us all off. You see, Inspector, we've had a very tough voyage. We were at sea much longer than expected. Everything battened down for nearly a week. By the time we docked, the ship's office was closed. Mr. Hockman came and paid us all off.
Well, what's that got to do with the quarrel?
Well,
He doesn't like to tell you, Inspector, so I will.
Go ahead.
I've been friendly with them both, see. For days I've been waiting for the Albatross to come in. As soon as I heard she was in dock, I came over to say hello.
What happened?
Don't you think you ought to tell him, Ned?
Yeah, I don't mind telling you. But I'll tell you if you tell me how Ernie got murdered. Where? Why?
Do you know a place called the Wellington Hotel in the East India Dock Road?
Never heard of it. What is it? Pub?
No. Small, unlicensed hotel. Do you know it?
Of course I know it. We're calling a grin the East India Dock Road. Not that I've ever been inside it.
Well, he was found in one of the rooms with his head bashed in. Now, what's the story, Captain?
Well, after we'd paid off the crew, I went to the first mate's cabin.
Hiya, Skip. You gone?
Yeah. I'll be glad to get my feet. What are you doing with that suitcase?
What do you think? You don't think I'm going to stay aboard tonight, do you? Let me see. Some shaving tackle, dough.
You want to be careful with that dough, Ernie. You got 6 months' pay there.
I will. What are you doing tonight? You staying ashore?
It depends. I got me a date. Except by now she's all tied up. She should have been in the Sailor's Arms. Why don't you come in for a drink?
Yeah, might do that. All depends on the girlfriend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Ernie! Ernie!
Nancy, why you... Oh, gee, it's good to see you.
Don't you have a shave on this boat?
Give us a kiss.
What is all this? Nancy, what gives? Last time I was in docks, you promised me...
Hey, what about the three of us going to have a drink? It's great to see you both.
My pal. My first mate. So that's why you wanted your shaving tackle. Here!
Shouldn't have done that. Throwing his case in the water like that.
Mr. Ashton, sir, if you weren't the skipper of the Flying Albatross, I'd pick you up and I'd throw you...
Now, look, I'm sorry, Ned. But you should have done what Ernie did. He sent a note to the pub with one of your crew. How was I to know?
Well, you should have done. I've got work to do. Huh? And then what happened? Well, nothing, I swear it. I didn't murder him. I was angry as all get out when you've been at sea and... Gone? Well, what do you mean, go on?
Captain Ashton, someone bashed in your first mate's skull. You had a quarrel with him. Are you sure that that's the last time you saw your first mate alive here aboard this ship?
No, I'd better come clean.
That's better.
I didn't want to take a rap for a matter I didn't commit. When Nancy here and Ernie walked off the Flying Albatross, well, yeah, I was kind of lost. I was banking on an evening out with Nancy, so what? Well, I knew where Ernie would go, the Sailor's Arms, where all we American sailors go. I walked in and saw them sitting there, and... Well, I didn't tell you this, Nancy. I pretended I didn't see Ernie when I came up to you.
Are you saying that you walked into the Sailor's Arms, you saw Longley sitting with this young lady, you saw him get up, leave the pub, and you went over?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised.
Look, Inspector, let me tell you this.
No, if you don't mind, miss. By the way, what is your name?
Nancy Toppin.
Well, if you don't mind, let Captain Ashton tell his story. Go on, please.
I'd better, Nancy. This is too serious. Well, Inspector, as soon as I saw Ernie walk out of the pub, I went over. Where's he gone? You want a drink?
Oh, he's gone to fix a room for himself. Either at the American Sailors' Mission or somewhere. He looks terrible. Hasn't had a shave in days. I'm sorry, Ned, really I am. Do you know, he sent me a note and... Well, he's going to spruce himself up and then he's going to take me to Gino's.
Oh, that tough giant. What about later, kid? You won't be with him all the time, will you? I can give you a better time than him.
Sure you can. Well, I can't get out of it now. But I'll ditch him with some excuse. I'll meet you at Wylung's place. Okay?
Well, I had a few drinks and I left and met Nancy again at Wylung's.
Now, just a minute. Let's get everything in sequence. What time was this when you had a drink at the Sailor's Arms?
About 6:30 to 7:30. I went home and repaired the odd damage and I met Ned at the other place. Wylung's.
What time?
About 9.
What time did you stay there till?
Well, I might as well tell you. We stayed there a few hours and, well, I came back here with Ned.
I see. Neither of you ever went to the Wellington Hotel?
No, of course not.
Well, I'll be sending the worthy Sergeant Jackson over. Please don't either of you leave until you made a statement. The Sailor's Arms, you say?
Inspector, are you the first mate of the Flying Albatross has been bumped up, eh?
He has, and I want your help. You see, so far as we can gather, the last 3 persons to see him alive were the manager of the Wellington Hotel.
Ah, Frank Mills, eh?
Yes, that's him. But I also understand that there was the skipper and a girl, if one can describe her as such, named Nancy Topping.
Oh, the toughest baby that ever took a sailor for a ride.
Ah?
I'd bar her from this puppy if I could, but what can I do? You know us, Inspector. This is a tough joint.
We try to keep it so that a guy comes ashore needing a drink and doesn't get rolled for his money.
And do they?
Well, when light-fingered Nancy's around, they do. It's an old trick of hers. All right. I might as well tell you. I was just going to stop it, except this chap's captain come over and I don't interfere.
Stop what?
Well, I served him with the drinks. Then I saw him hand over his wallet, you know. Give me your money to prove you're going to turn up later, Of course, he'd had one over the apron. I saw her do it. I'd be back to the bar, cleaning the glass, and I saw her in the mirror.
Gone?
Yeah, you may think what you like, Inspector, but there were some characters in the bar that would have cut my throat if I'd said anything, you see.
Oh, no.
Why do you say that?
Because, my good friend, you've robbed me of the motive for murder. Car?
Operations here, Inspector.
Yes?
They were at White Lungs all right, sir, 9 o'clock.
Did you get any luck with the other line of inquiry?
No, sir. Everyone's been questioned. They never saw him.
I see. I think I'd better have a word with Frank Mills again. When Longley booked in, did he have a parcel with him? Anything at all?
No, Inspector. No.
And are you sure that you never heard him?
No, we went up to his room and that was it.
What'd you do?
Well, I know you won't believe this, but I went to the pictures all on me own.
What time did you get back?
About 11. I went straight to bed. I swear it. I didn't see the poor chap till I went to bring him his tea in the morning. Look, I didn't kill him, honest, I did.
With his protestations of innocence still ringing in my ears, I went and had a word with Sergeant Thompson. Are you absolutely certain, Sergeant, that no one saw Longley later that evening? Has every bartender, shopper, and a dockside dive been questioned?
Yes, sir.
Of course. I'm out of my Chinese mind. Sergeant, do you know this girl they call Light-Fingered Nancy?
Nancy Topping, one of the smoothest operators on the docks.
Is she in the local rogues gallery?
Yes, we've got a picture of her, sir.
Good. I'm sorry to do this to you, Sergeant, but I want the East London CID to take her picture. Yes?
Operations here, Inspector. She's been recognized.
She has?
Yes, sir. She was found...
Never mind. That girl knows too many sailors. We've got to work fast. She didn't kill to defend her virtue, but she killed him all right, and we've got to find out why. Hello, Miss Topping. I think you've met Sergeant Thompson.
What do you want?
What you took from Ernest Longley.
You mean his wallet? He gave it to me.
But he didn't give you the more valuable item, did he? All right, Sergeant, take your men, search the flat.
No, he did. He gave it to me in the pub. What was I want with diamonds?
Nancy Topping, we're arresting you. Take her away, charge her, give her the usual warning. Go in. Hello, Mac.
I hear that you've caught the person who wielded the poker.
Yes. Seems that our American sailor was a little foolish. Whilst in his cups, he showed Miss Nancy a diamond that he was smuggling into the country. It's worth many thousands, intended for some fence in Hatton Garden. She had other ideas. She went round to the hotel that night. Had to be her. Luckily, we've got evidence to prove it. You see, when I first looked at the court... Well, listeners, as I promised at the beginning of this story, there were only 3 possible suspects. But what made Light-Fingered Nancy the only possible culprit? Not sure? Well, think around it, listen to the commercial, and I'll be back to tell you.
How can anyone make a peanut butter that's really different from any other peanut butter? It's not easy. But Yum Yum is a new kind of peanut butter. A peanut butter that's so smooth, it spreads easily. So creamy, it almost melts in your mouth. In fact, new Yum Yum is so different, we don't even call it peanut butter. We call it Yum Yum Super Creamy Spread. Yum Yum, the super creamy spread with a true peanut taste. Have you noticed how the sunflower always faces the sun? That's how the sunflower seed gets all its goodness, from the sun. Epic Pure Sunflower Seed Oil is made from nothing but the finest sunflower seeds to give you all the golden goodness of sunshine. So the next time you want golden goodness in a pure sunflower seed oil, before you say oil, say Epic.
Well, listeners, why did it have to be light-fingered Nancy? Now, if you remember, Mills said, "He give me 12 and 6, all the coins he had." We know that Longley's wallet was taken from him.
Then I saw him hand over his wallet, you know. You give me your money just to prove you're going to turn up later.
We also know...
I shouldn't have done that. Thrown his case in the water like that.
Yet when we surveyed the scene of the crime, there was a shaving brush still caked with soap and traces of soap on the dead man's bearded chin. He couldn't have bought them himself when he went out again. We traced every possible shop. It was then that I realized that he must have asked Nancy to purchase some shaving cream on her way to the hotel. The moral of the story? Sailors, don't go on the spree with dockside ladies. They're inclined to give it too much of a bash. Good night.
Shell, Theatre of the Hour.
Enjoy brighter radio listening with Blaupunkt Radiogram's automatic pre-select tuning.
Kostet op die tafel.
The makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Purine and Pret Cooking Fat, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, Maple Margarine, and Niblets Cheese Twists present the Epic Casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
Good evening. The other week, I went to see a show put on by Sarah Churchill. I suppose, like others, I was drawn by the magic of her illustrious father's name and the fact that her very arrival in South Africa brought back a whiff of nostalgia for those dramatic days when the late Sir Winston's indomitable spirit geared Britain for ultimate victory. Of course, I don't propose to comment on Sarah Churchill's success or otherwise as an artist, but as I sat watching her recite her poems and sing her songs, I reflected on the fact that so many leading British families had produced offspring who certainly did not conform to pattern. Watching Miss Churchill, I remembered the trouble the police had with her cousin, Edward Romilly, who once hoisted the red flag over the exclusive Whites Club and led rather wild demonstrations in Trafalgar Square against the then British government's foreign policy. It also reminded me of a case of murder in which the victim was a highly talented scion of one of Britain's wealthiest industrialists. Randolph Maybrick did not indulge in politics. He was a very fine writer with an acute social conscience. Yet his very curiosity and concern for his fellow man was to cause him to be bludgeoned to death. The investigation into his murder is the theme for tonight's story, which I've called The Final Chapter. At the time when Sergeant Jackson found the body lying in the gutter, it appeared to be just a shabbily dressed corpse. Shine your torch on him, will you, Jackson? Yeah, this is no tramp. Look at those hands. Look at the fingernails. You just take a closer look at that face, huh? Fine face, that. Sort of face Hey, just a minute.
Sir?
I've seen this face before. All right, let's take a look at the back of the head. To an experienced member of the murder squad, the lethal blow was an all too familiar sight. The matted hair, the trickle of blood staining the collar. But something was not familiar in an investigation of this sort. Despite the congealing blood, the gaping wound, I was astonished at the way the man's hair had been cut. It was much longer than was the prevailing fashion, and it appeared as though the barber had exercised considerable care. Then there were the man's well-kept hands, manicured fingernails. Strange. Look at that ill-fitting suit, cheap shoes, shirt. Something doesn't gel, Jackson. It's almost as though he's in fancy dress.
An actor, do you think, sir?
Could be. All right, Jackson, get the police ambulance, take him over to the mortuary. I don't think we'll have much difficulty in identifying the body. I was wrong. There were no records as to his fingerprints. Neither the shirt nor suit helped, since both had been mass-produced. And finally, we decided to publish the man's picture. That produced immediate results. Yes?
Gato, please. Sir Richard Maybrick, Inspector.
Oh, come in, Sir Richard. Do sit down.
Thank you. I warned him. I told him...
Sir Richard, I cannot but express my deep sympathy in your loss. I'm a great admirer of his work. As soon as we published his photograph in the morning paper, half England seemed to be dialing 999, his publishers, admirers.
He had everything to live for. Randolph was my only son.
Yes, he was a wonderfully warm, human person.
And yet, he's dead. But why? I'm told he wasn't robbed.
Well, Sir Richard, we're assuming he wasn't robbed. According to our senior police surgeon, Dr. Macpherson, your son was attacked at about 10 o'clock the night before last. There's an archway just as Gresham Lane ends by the embankment.
Oh, yes.
It could well be that somebody hid in the archway, waited till your son had passed him, then struck him from behind.
It's unbelievable. Inspector Carr, my son was the gentlest of men. He was a happy man. I didn't oppose his decision to become a writer. His contributions to college and varsity magazines proved he had a talent which had to be encouraged. And now he's gone. 27 years of age. He had so much to offer the world. For the first time since my wife died 7 years ago. Yeah, I'm glad she's not here. Now, I've been to identify the body. I said you wanted to see me. Well, I don't think there's much more I can tell you, Inspector.
Forgive me, Sir Richard. Would you want your son's murder to go unpunished?
No, of course not.
Then you have a great deal to tell me.
Then you don't understand.
Oh?
My son lived his own life. I made him an allowance, and he went his own way. Well, he'd return to Maybrick Hall at Easter and Christmas time. I rarely saw him other than at those times.
All that we've found on him, a couple of pounds, some silver, a handkerchief, fountain pen, writing pad. Now, we have to start from somewhere, Sir Richard. We have to try and determine why your son was done to death. We have at this moment every available constable trying to find out where your son stayed. You've no idea?
None at all.
No idea why anybody should want to attack him?
Well, unlike myself, Randolph had a great love for his fellow man. I doubt if he had an enemy in the world.
You know how he was dressed when he was found?
Yes, and I'm not surprised. He stayed at lodging houses, doss houses. He couldn't very well mix with the poor and the scum dressed in a Savile Row suit. I have seen him dressed as he was when I identified the body.
In those particular clothes?
Well, if not those, clothes of a similar kind.
I see. When did you see your son last?
3 weeks ago. To my great relief. We had a party to celebrate his engagement.
Why relief?
Because, Inspector, I was afraid that his guilt of having a rich father and his genuine sympathy with the underprivileged would cause him to do something stupid.
Such as what?
Well, convince himself he'd fallen in love with some girl that needed saving. I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I think I do.
And I don't misunderstand me. You've read my son's work.
Despite it all, he had a clear and level-headed approach to things.
Yes, I'm sure he did. I've already told you, Sir Richard, I admired his writing very much. You say you haven't seen him for 3 weeks. What about his fiancée? Surely you must...
Oh, Marjorie was quite willing to accept my boy on his terms.
Did she see him often, do you know?
Well, Marjorie dined at the hall last Wednesday. I haven't spoken to her since.
Her name, telephone number, Sir Richard?
It's Brockmore 783. It's Marjorie Amory.
Yes, sir.
I want you to locate on the phone a Miss Marjorie Amory, telephone number Brockmore 783.
Right, sir.
Forgive me for asking you this, Sir Richard. You're an extremely wealthy man. Was your son to be the main beneficiary in your will?
Yes. Apart from a number of charities and bequests, I left everything else to Randolph. I worshipped the boy. Oh, I had it all tied up in trusts. Otherwise, he'd be inclined to give it all away.
What happens now?
I don't know. My solicitor wanted me to make some provision, but I couldn't envisage my son dying before me. Well, why?
Just looking for a motive. Had your will been worded differently, your life might have been in danger. Excuse me. Card?
Miss Amory on the line, Inspector.
Right.
You're going through, miss. Speak up, please.
Hello. Hello?
Inspector Carr here.
I know. It's also... so... Well, the first thing I knew about it was when I saw this morning's paper.
I'm sorry. It's the only way to get a quick identification.
I telephoned Sir Richard. Poor man.
He's with me at the moment.
Oh, it's not true, is it? This is all...
I'm sorry to have to telephone you like this, but if we're to catch the man who killed your fiancée, we have to work fast. When did you see Randolph Maybrick last?
Saturday night.
What did you say, this Saturday night?
Yes. I went up to London and... Oh, this is only...
2 nights ago, yes. Miss Amory, please, I have to talk to you urgently. Can I ask you to come to Scotland Yard? I'll send a car for you if you like. It's not...
No, I've got my own car. Scotland Yard, that's near Whitehall, isn't it?
Yes. In fact, go down Whitehall, take the first narrow turning to the left, as if you're making for Westminster, and tell a policeman that you want to go to F Block.
Right. I'll get there as soon as I can.
Thank you very much. Oh, Miss Amory's coming here. She tried to telephone you this morning.
Yeah, poor girl. Well, I've had most of my life. These two had so much to live for. Well, if there's anything more you...
No, thank you. I'll see you out. It was with a great deal of admiration that I saw Sir Richard Maybrick's departure. Not once did he reveal the deep anguish and sense of loss he was feeling. A widower who had read in a newspaper that his only son, one of Britain's outstanding young writers, had been beaten to death by an unknown assailant. The investigation was well underway. Yes?
Operations here, Inspector. We've traced Maybrick's movements on Saturday night, sir.
Yes?
The commissioner at Deborah's Club in Curzon Street recognized him at once, sir.
Deborah's Club? In those clothes?
Or apparently not, sir. He was with a very lovely-looking young lady.
But where he's been staying, still no trace?
Nothing's come through from X-Branch yet, sir.
Thank you.
Miss Amory, sir.
Oh, hello, Miss Amory. Made it in very good time. Do come in, sit down.
Thank you.
What about a cup of coffee?
No, thank you. I'll be all right. At least I hope so.
Hope so?
I'm trying not to cry again, Inspector.
Oh, don't mind a hardened old policeman. If you feel like crying, you do so. I had to do this to you. It seems your fiancé led such a Jekyll and Hyde existence.
He didn't really. He just didn't want to embarrass anyone. Even the clothes he wore.
Where did he live in London?
He kept a small flat in St. John's Wood. He didn't want to... Well, it's where he kept his suits and things. But you know, he was halfway through his book. He said it was 10 years since George Orwell had written his novel about, well, what they call the other half. Oh, Inspector, it's such a waste. He was such a wonderful man.
I'm not just trying to console you. I've read his work. He was a wonderful man. But we have to be practical. We have to get hold of the person who killed him. And to do this, we have to find out why and who. His father hasn't been able to help us very much.
Poor Sir Richard. They were poles apart, father and son. Yet they loved and respected each other. They really did.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sorry to have to ask you this very trite question, but have you any idea who would have tried to kill Randolph?
Yes. Yes, I have. I was afraid for him, but I didn't think it would happen this way.
Could it be true? Could this pale-faced young lady gazing at me with her tear-filled eyes give me a springboard from which we could catch the killer? You said that you were afraid for your fiancé. What do you mean when you say you didn't think it would happen this way? What happened? Why were you afraid for him?
Last Wednesday, I'd gone over to dine with Sir Richard.
Yes.
Well, Randolph said he was on to something important, and he'd try to motor down if possible, but he would telephone.
And did he?
Yes, just after dinner.
You don't know how happy I am knowing that I'm going to have you as a daughter-in-law, Marjorie.
Not half as happy as I am. Oh, I do love him. I really do.
And we both do. You must promise to produce me a grandson as quickly as possible. You know, somebody to take over Maybrick Enterprises.
Do you mind very much about Randolph?
Well, I did at first. Now, but don't you tell him. I'm proud of him. Although I can't understand half the things he writes about.
Oh, that'll be Randolph now. Hello?
How's my long-suffering fiancé? Sorry I couldn't make it, love.
So was I. Oh, I haven't seen you for ages. Randolph, why don't you come and spend the day tomorrow?
I'd hope to. Well, the truth of the matter is, darling, that I've acquired more material than I bargained for.
Oh, what do you mean?
One picks up a stone in search of a lizard and finds a reptile. Who said that? Sophocles?
Oh, darling, what are you talking about?
Well, you remember I said I was on something important. I am. I don't propose to turn myself into a police informer. On the other hand, my book is going to have the kind of shape I'd never bargained for.
Oh, darling, stop talking in riddles. When am I going to see you?
I know I've neglected you disgracefully. Let's become bourgeois. I'll adorn myself with the trappings of the rich, and we'll trip the light fantastic endeavors.
Oh, wonderful. But won't I see you before then?
No, my love. Come to the flat 7-ish on Saturday. Fully gowned and in your right mind. Is father there?
Yes, I'll call. Sir Richard took the phone. Believe it or not, Inspector Carr, I felt slightly apprehensive then.
Why?
I don't know. Something in his voice.
You say that you had an idea who would try to kill Randolph.
Well, perhaps that was an exaggeration, but Randolph told me something. That, you see, the night before, when we were Oh, darling, isn't this bliss? Well, isn't this better than traipsing round the slums in old clothes?
No, Marjorie.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I'm not breaking my promise. When I'm Mrs. Randolph Maybrick, you can put on your sackcloth and ashes and go rushing off to the sewers as often as you like. Providing you take a bath when you come home. Oh, I do love you.
And are you? You do understand, don't you? If I'm going to be the sort of writer I want to be, I can't just imagine what people are like from some ivory tower. I've got to mix with them, live with them, share their...
Darling, you've explained it all to me, and, well, I want you to go on doing it. I'm proud to be the girl that the great writer...
Oh, well, up-and-coming Shakespeare. We don't often see you in places such as this. In fact, one doesn't see you, period. And how is the beauteous Miss Amory?
Hello, Lester.
Aren't you going to ask me to join you for a drink?
Won't you be deserting your table?
Oh, well done. Yeah, I was testing you out, Randolph. Still turning the other cheek, eh? Being polite, even though we hate each other's guts. Nice to see you again, Miss Amory.
I haven't seen him since Caroline's going out party. You two went to school together, didn't you?
Yes. He doesn't know it, but I saw him a few days ago.
What is it, Randolph? Why are you looking like that?
Indirectly, Lester Rawlings has been keeping us apart, my love.
What on earth do you mean?
Did you know that I've been working as a navvy at the Thames Dock?
That's nothing new, dear. You've been a car washer, road labourer, commie waiter.
All grist to my literary mill, my sweet. I saw friend Lester, but he didn't see me, fortunately.
Why, fortunately?
And because, my darling, had he recognized me, my life would not be all that secure.
Oh, darling, our favorite tune. Let's dance.
Certainly, my sweet. Although as a dancer, I make a very good bottle washer.
You see, Inspector, that was just 2 nights ago.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Tell me more about Mr. Lester Rawlings.
Well, I don't know very much. You know how it is. When I had my first coming-out party, he was one of the eligible young bachelors. His father was a great friend of Daddy's. Well, I never did like him. The only reason we ever got to know each other was because he told me he was at Eton with Randolph.
When did you see this Lester Rawlings last? Before your Saturday meeting, I mean.
Oh, not for months and months. As you can imagine, Randolph loathed the usual kind of social party.
Is there anything else you know about him that might help us?
No.
Well, one last word. When you left Deborah's, did you both go back to Randolph's flat?
We were engaged, Inspector.
I'm sorry. It's rather important. You see, if your fiancé went back to his flat alone, he could have been followed.
I went back. We had a drink and a cigarette together, and then I drove back to Brockmore, and that was the last time I saw Randolph.
You're sure there's nothing else you can tell me?
Positive.
How many people would know where Randolph kept his pied-à-terre?
I doubt if anyone. Randolph swore me to secrecy, and, well, he said he didn't want his father and his publishers or anyone to know that he had a permanent base in London. He loved his solitary state. I found him the flat.
Oh? How long ago?
Last month. He used to cart his other clothes around and, well, it seems silly.
And what was the address in St. John's Wood?
16 Cricklewood Avenue.
That's right, sir. Quiet-spoken gentleman he was. Told me he was a writer. Told me he needed somewhere to keep his things and that sort of thing. Oh, quite a shock when I saw his picture in the paper this morning.
Weren't you surprised when he didn't return to his rooms?
Oh, no. He gave me some of his books to read. Well, a lot of it was beyond a man of my education, but he knew what he was writing about, all right. Very fine, polite young gentleman he was. Come, Inspector, I'll show you his room.
The rooms were clean and comfortable enough, yet far removed from the comfortable splendor of Maybrick Hall. A small sitting-room bedroom comprised what Miss Amory described as his flat. The only concession to a man of his intellect was the enormous number of books to be seen. In the cupboard was sartorial evidence of the man's Jekyll and Hyde existence. Overalls, corduroy trousers, dinner jacket, patent leather shoes, and hobnail boots. Going through a man's personal papers and private correspondence is an unpleasant but necessary part of any murder investigation. In one of his pockets, I found a ticket from the Imperial Casual Labor Agency.
Yes, Inspector. I recognised his picture at once. I telephoned 999, I did, but it had already been identified.
They told me at the agency that you were the foreman in charge of the work gang.
Yes, the casual labour, loading up the Queen Carolina.
The Queen Carolina?
Yes, that's right, sir. Well, you must know about her. Goes up and down the Thames. They didn't half put away some food and liquor, I can tell you.
Oh, yes, sort of nightclub on the river.
That's the ticket, sir.
How long did this job last?
Only 2 days. Some did scrubbing, some did loading.
What about Maybrick?
Oh, I knew him as Smith. Of course, that wasn't his real name. But when you're a foreman of casual workers like that, you learn to mind your own business. Of course, I knew he was educated and that sort of thing. But he knew how to work, except he wore gloves. He said he might want to do some typing one day.
Oh, don't worry about my wearing gloves. Got to look after my hands. Need to do some typing sometime.
Oh, blimey, here's a gaffer.
Oh, I'm off. I don't want him to see me.
Afternoon, sir.
Oh, haven't you chaps finished yet? My office is a positive disgrace.
Well, we'll leave you that till last, sir. Here, Fred, you go in and fix the office, will you?
Don't worry, Fred, I'll do it.
I could see that he'd called to say he'd go below deck because he didn't want the gentleman to recognise him.
And did he?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, it was none of my business.
You used the word gaffer, meaning the owner. What was his name?
Mr. Rawlings, sir.
plot thickens.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Oh, never mind. Then what happened?
Well, we got the Queen Carolina ready, and then we all, well, some of us went home and some of us had a drink.
I see. According to the agency, the man you knew as Smith worked all day Tuesday and all day Wednesday. Is that when Mr. Rawlings came aboard? Wednesday afternoon?
Yes, sir.
And is that the last time you saw Maybrick or Smith?
Yes, sir. We said goodbye to each other in the pub.
Oh, you went off to a pub?
Yeah. I was a bit surprised, really. I was shouted who was coming for a drink when I paid him off. And he said he would. We had a drink at the Millbank Arms. You know, come to think of it, he was a bit excited about something.
Oh?
Yeah, he said that the Queen Carolina was a wolf in ship's clothing. That made me laugh, that did. But when I asked him what he was getting at, he just drank his drink and pushed off.
Thank you very much, Mr. Starling. Thank you very much indeed. Securing the necessary warrant from the Port of London Authority, I instituted a thorough search of the floating nightclub, knowing that Maybrick would not use a phrase such as a wolf in ship's clothing for nothing. He didn't.
Lord be blowed. There must be over £500,000 worth of morphine.
There must be, and there is. All right, Sergeant. Get back to X-Branch. Get onto narcotics. They'll want to know what vessels have been in the vicinity. It's my guess that the drugs we've got aboard the Queen Carolina by means of magnetic mine. Anyway, that's narcotics affair. I'm still concerned with murder, particularly as we now have a motive. We'll pull in Mr. Lester Rawlings. Mr. Rawlings, I suppose you've a good idea why I've asked you to come to Scotland Yard. Where were you on Sunday night?
I was on board my ship. Why?
Oh, that's very interesting. Fancy asking me why. Are you trying to tell me that an intelligent man such as yourself hadn't linked our request that you visit us with Maybrick's death? When did you see him last?
Last Saturday night at Deborah's in Curzon Street.
His body was found in Gresham Lane, less than 300 yards from where your nightclub was moored.
Well?
What time did you go aboard the Queen Carolina on Sunday night?
Well, I couldn't give you the exact time, about 11.
Well, we were wondering if you might have seen or heard anything. After all, you knew Maybrick well. You might even have cut through Gresham Lane. His body had been lying there for about an hour.
Even if I did, I wouldn't take any notice of a man dressed like a tramp. I can't help you.
We think you can. You haven't seen Maybrick since last Saturday night?
No, I have not.
You're lying. I called you an intelligent man, Rawlings. You're not. You're a stupid fool. You've given yourself away. I'm arresting you on a charge of murdering Randolph Maybrick, and I now warn you... Well, listener, he did make a foolish mistake, didn't he? Even the most intelligent of criminals slips under interrogation. Did you notice where he slipped? Not sure? Well, listen to the commercial, and I'll be back to tell you.
Kosses op die tafel. How you hear the children yowl when they hear the dinner bell.
Yes, indeed, especially when you serve them food cooked with maple margarine. I've chosen something rather special for tonight's maple menu. Let's start off with cold tuna avocado surprise, served with a bowl of crisp, crunchy Niblets cheese twists. To follow, vineyard chicken with rice, green peas and marrow rings. Sounds delicious, and I can assure you it is. Something cold to end off the meal, homemade chocolate ice cream. If you would like a free copy of this delicious Maypole menu, just write to Maypole Home Dinners, P.O. Box 89, Johannesburg. And remember, there's more to the flavor of good food cooked with Maypole margarine.
Well, listener, how did Rawlings give himself away so foolishly? It was this. You might even have cut through Gresham Lane. His body had been lying there for about an hour.
Well, even if I did, I wouldn't take any notice of a man dressed like a tramp.
It was a giveaway, wasn't it? In the first place, Rawlings declared that he hadn't seen Maybrick since his encounter at Deborah's. Then how would he know that the dead man was dressed like a tramp? The few times they met were under such salubrious circumstances as to cause Maybrick to wear more conventional clothes. Of course, he had recognized him on the Queen Carolina. Oh, it all came out in the trial. Maybrick returned to the vessel on Sunday, having accidentally come across a consignment of drugs. He warned Rawlings that he was going to inform against him and then went ashore. Rawlings followed him and attacked him with a hammer. Oh, the moral of the story: if you're a writer, Don't be casual about your labor. You'll not only be down, you'll be out. For keeps. Good night.
The Epic Casebook was produced by Michael Silver for the makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Maple Margarine, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, and Niblets Cheese Twists, with Hugh Rouse as Inspector Carr. Listen again next Thursday night at 9:30 to another exciting story from our Epic Casebook.
Was ist auf die Tafel?
The makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Purine and Pret Cooking Fat, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, Maple Margarine, and Niblets Cheese Twists present the Epic Casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
Good evening. It will not have escaped the notice of regular listeners to my Casebook of Crime that there are clearly defined organizations to deal with matters of British security. Now, when I say security, I don't just mean it in its generally accepted sense, that is, safeguarding the military and political secrets necessary to a country's defense. I mean security in all its ramifications. Keeping a country and its people secure from the effects of lawlessness, industrial unrest, economic upheaval. From time to time, my stories have featured the ramifications of MI5, or the Special Branch. Yet, despite opinion to the contrary, any death where murder is suspected is handled by the Criminal Investigation Department of a police force, and not by what are commonly known as the Cloak and Dagger Boys, even if the persons concerned are known to be actively engaged in political or diplomatic negotiations of the most confidential nature. Why all this? Because the story I'm going to tell you tonight concerns the death of someone who, in his lifetime, became one of Britain's most distinguished Foreign Office officials. His name was Sir Rowland Makepeace. I've called my story The Threads of Death. The unusual aspect of Sir Rowland Makepeace's death can be gauged from the way operations brought matters to my notice. Carr?
Operations here, Inspector?
No, who's been murdered this time?
Well, sir, we don't know that he has been murdered.
He? Who in the name of goodness is he? And if a murder hasn't been reported, why are you telephoning the duty officer of the murder squad?
Well, sir, it was first reported to the Foreign Office.
Foreign Office?
Yes, sir. We've just had a Mr. William Banbury from the Foreign Office on the line. He's coming down to see you, sir.
Mr. Banbury, is he?
That's right, sir. Seems as though there's some doubt as to whether the man found dead was murdered or committed suicide. You may have heard of him, sir. His name is Sir Rowland Makepeace.
Makepeace? Oh, yes, I've seen his name in the newspapers. How was he killed, do you know?
No, sir. Wouldn't give any more information.
Oh, well, if he wouldn't, he wouldn't. All we can do is await his arrival. Mr. William Banbury could not have been bettered as the epitome of the British Foreign Office official. Tall, with a slightly stooping academic air and a deceptively slow manner of speech, he painted a word picture that was succinctly clear in a matter of minutes.
A servant found Sir Rowland hanging from a rope less than 30 minutes ago. Now, Inspector, there's nothing to indicate that he was murdered. Without going into the whys and wherefores, I must tell you that Sir Rowland was head of our Eastern European Division and was on the point of preparing a memorandum that would profoundly affect the member states of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Mr. Banbury, you wouldn't have got in touch with Scotland Yard unless you yourself were pretty certain that this gentleman was murdered. Have you any other reasons for suspecting foul play other than some foreign power wanting to stop him issuing his memorandum?
Well, it's not quite as simple as that.
Oh?
I myself think he was murdered. Assuming it was suicide, we still need your help. I might as well tell you that the servant who found the body is a member of our security organization.
Well, how can we be of help if we do decide the gentleman committed suicide?
Well, it's now 9:30. It's going to be absolutely impossible to keep Sir Roland's death a secret. By midday, the papers are going to carry the story. Now, if it's suicide, certain overseas newspapers will play it up tremendously. They'll say that Sir Roland took his life because he didn't want to be a party to wicked intrigue against the Balkan states. You realize that this memorandum he was preparing was due to be presented to NATO in 10 days' time. It must be murder.
Because Sir Roland Makepeace was not the sort of man to take his own life?
Well, frankly, at the moment, I'm not concerned with the dead man's reputation. Inspector Carr, we want it to be murder. If we can demonstrate that Sir Roland Makepeace forfeited his life, died because of his efforts to reach an understanding with Yugoslavia, we can go to the conference table with the knowledge and show that one of Britain's top Foreign Office officials was murdered by the enemies of Yugoslavia as well as Britain. On the other hand, if by then the inquest brings in a verdict of suicide, the ground will be cut from under our feet.
Can't you prevent the inquest?
Impossible to do. I wish we could. But the law says that an inquest must be held within a reasonable space of time after death. If we break the law, the boys on the other side will play that up too. Get the message?
Loud and clear. Except for one thing. Supposing I investigate his death, and my conclusions are that this gentleman took his own life. What happens then?
We at the Foreign Office will have to bow to the inevitable. I'm hoping and praying it is murder.
Well, we'd better get cracking. I assume you've brought me all the relevant facts concerning Sir Roland's age, background.
Of course. I've got his personal security file here.
Good.
You'll find ample reasons for rejecting the theory of suicide. He was a man in late middle age, a charming wife, 3 married children, 5 grandchildren. He's, was completely integrated in every way.
No financial worries? Gambling, anything of that sort?
None.
Okay. What's the address?
106 Ensley Gardens, Knightsbridge.
Who's in the house now? In other words, who knows of Sir Roland's death?
No one except Lady Makepeace and the household staff.
Local police haven't been brought in?
No, you see, 2 of his staff are highly trained security men with an elementary knowledge of first aid. Sir Roland was dead when they cut him down.
Who cut him down?
The butler.
All right, Mr. Banbury, leave it to me. This is the very first time in my checkered police career that I'm going to the scene of a death hoping that the person lost his life because of a deliberate act of murder. Have you sent anyone from security?
Yes, there'll be a chap outside, Miller. He'll meet you and take you in.
I don't want to arouse more curiosity than necessary, but I have to arrange for fingerprint experts, photographers. Of course, the body will be examined by our own police surgeon.
Of course.
And one other thing, mustn't take this amiss. While I'm in charge of the investigation, I am in charge. In other words, I don't want any of your plainclothes men coming up to me and flaunting MI5 cards. Security or no security, the scene of his death will be my zone of investigation, and I will give the instructions, right?
Perfectly right.
Just one last thing. Where was the body found?
In his study.
Excuse me a moment.
Yes, Inspector?
My compliments to the senior police surgeon. Tell Dr. McPherson that an extremely urgent case has cropped up. Would he meet me at transport in 5 minutes?
Very good, sir.
Well, I'll get back to Whitehall. Terrible, terrible business. If you need me urgently, Sir Roland's valet will get me on the special line.
Special line?
From their residence to security.
Oh, right. Thank you very much. If I need you, I'll call on you. Together with my friend, the senior police surgeon, I set out for Ensley Gardens, giving the worthy doctor all the information vouchsafed by Mr. Banbury. We were met by Banbury's MI5 man, Miller.
The study's on the right, gentlemen. You're Inspector Carr, I take it.
Yes, that's right. This is Dr. McPherson, senior police.
How do you do? Lady Makepeace is resting. Poor woman, she's quite distraught. I gave instructions that no one was to touch anything. That's the study.
Oh. Now then, let's check our watches. What time do you make it, Mac?
10 minutes past 10.
You, Miller?
Ditto.
Do you want me to get the estimated time now?
Yes, Mac, and try not to touch the clothes. The dead man was lying on a sofa that ran along one side of the study wall. In the center of the high ceiling was a chandelier, baroque in its splendor. From it dangled a thin nylon rope. About 2 feet away was an overturned occasional table.
Well, he seems to have taken the precaution of removing his jacket and tie. I'm afraid I'll have to loosen his collar.
Well, there's no reason why you shouldn't. It was the rope, all right, wasn't it? It's a pretty ugly wheel. Not the sort of thing one wants to look at 10:30 in the morning.
It looks suicide, all right. But why remove the jacket and tie?
And why not the shoes? I should have thought that it would be suicide, particularly the meticulous sort of individual Sir Roland appears to have been, would have removed his shoes before stepping onto what looks like a highly expensive and beautifully polished table. Look, Mac. Look at that dried mud on his shoes. It was raining cats and dogs all night.
I don't know. A man so worked up as to be on the point of hanging himself wouldn't worry about spoiling a table.
That's not the point. Once a person plans his suicide, which he did if we accept suicide, and goes to the extent of removing his jacket and his tie, it would be almost a reflex action to remove his shoes. Now, it's pretty obvious that when he was cut down, he was placed on that sofa.
I can tell you about that.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I heard voices and I came down. They should have told me you were here. It's all like something out of an American film, isn't it? I still find it difficult to accept. Are you some of my husband's colleagues?
I wish I could have introduced myself under better circumstances, Lady Makepeace. My name is Carr, Inspector Carr, New Scotland Yard. This is Dr. McPherson, our senior police surgeon.
How do you do?
How do you do, Lady Makepeace?
I suppose you've come for information. Is it for the inquest? Will they say that he took his life while of unsound mind? I don't believe it. Roland was tired, overworked, worried about the NATO conference. Oh, sorry.
Is there somewhere we could talk, Lady Makepeace?
Yes, of course. Come through here.
I'll leave it to you, Mac. When you've finished, you can take the car and the driver. I'll ring when I'm ready to leave.
All right, you are.
Perhaps we could talk in the music room.
You say your husband was overworked, tired. Was he depressed at all?
Sometimes. His was a thankless job, Inspector. So selfish. I keep thinking what the publicity is going to do to my children and my grandchildren at school. Please sit down.
Thank you. Well, of course, we shall see to it that there is a minimum of publicity.
The thought of an inquest terrifies me. People will be talking about my husband as though... oh, forgive me.
And publicity is inevitable, Lady Makepeace, whenever an inquest is held, but there may not be an inquest.
But...
Lady Makepeace, it seems to me that there is a strong possibility that your husband did not take his own life.
I don't understand.
I can't justify it at the moment, but I think your husband was murdered.
Oh, how horrible. Then they followed him. Oh, I must have known something like this would happen.
Eh?
Yes, strange people.
You realize, Lady Makepeace, that a man of such importance would have security people following him in order to protect him?
Protect him? How protected was he? I knew it. I couldn't accept the thought that Roland killed himself. Even if he was on the verge of a nervous breakdown, he'd never do a thing like that.
Do you think he was?
I don't know. He used to come home, say he had an uneasy feeling that people were following him. People who didn't belong to security.
I see. I'm sorry to have to ask you this, Lady Makepeace. When did you see your husband alive last?
Yesterday, about midday. Oh, dear. I've got a feeling I'm deceiving you, Inspector, that I'm not telling you the truth.
I gazed at the grey-haired lady sitting upright in her chair and wondered whether she was holding something back, something vital to my investigation. Why did you use the phrase, not telling me the truth, Lady Makepeace?
Because I would rather my husband was the victim of a murderer than the humiliating thought that Roland was willing to leave us all just like that. We who loved and respected him so much. It must have been murder, yet it looked like suicide. Oh, I'll never forget the sight as long as I live. All those shouts from the butler.
Good heavens! Lady Makepeace! Lady Makepeace! My lady, come quickly!
What on earth's the matter, Hobson?
It's Sir Roland. He's hanged himself.
I rushed into the study. Hobson cut the rope. Then I went to my room. I didn't want to lose control in front of the servants.
May I suggest, Lady Makepeace, that you go and rest. And thank you for spending so much time with me. I'll go and catch Dr. McPherson. He's probably still in the study.
I'm about through. What a way to end one's life. And they say he was a brilliant diplomat. Did you learn anything?
He was murdered, all right, Mac. There's absolutely no reason for this man to have taken his own life.
Who knows what prompts a man to commit suicide? For all we know, he might have been selling secrets to a foreign power and was afraid of discovery. I estimated time of death about 2:30.
Now, you've been reading too many lurid espionage stories, Mac. Oh, well, I'll make my report to that Foreign Office, Johnny. I am now convinced, Mr. Banbury, that Sir Roland Makepeace was murdered.
Good heavens. Terrible thing to say, but I hope you're right. An awful thought to contemplate, but better than the knowledge that he committed suicide. The audacity of it. To kill one of our senior diplomats in his own home. I'll notify security and let them take over.
Why? If you remember, I took on the investigation under the strict condition
But now it's different. Our special branch...
The circumstances are not different at all. You've placed me in charge, and I'm far from finished.
But
I never give up halfway through an investigation, Mr. Banbury, and I don't propose to start doing so now.
But what about the inquest?
I'll give certain evidence and convince the coroner and jury that Sir Roland was murdered by some person or persons unknown. That is, if I don't have my suspects under lock and key before then.
You say suspects. That suggests more than one involved.
I think so. Now, please don't ask any more questions, Mr. Banbury. At this stage, I'll not be able to provide you with satisfactory answers. But I will in due course. Never fear. I displayed a hearty optimism I didn't exactly feel, because I didn't want Mr. Banbury to use his secret powers to deprive me of the results of the investigation so far. We removed the body to the police mortuary, and there I voiced my suspicions to Dr. McPherson. I'm reasonably confident that the suicide was staged. Now, were you able to tell whether Sir Roland was alive when he was strung up, Mac?
Oh, he was alive, all right. Otherwise, the blood wouldn't have seeped through. Had he been dead, the heart would have stopped pumping.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just look at those spots of blood on the man's neck.
Mm. Yes, I see. But he wasn't conscious, even if he was alive.
Still think the suicide was a fake, do you?
More than ever. Now, be a good chap. Have another look at his scalp.
Right.
Must have been stunned or chloroformed or something.
Just a minute. Stunned.
Stunned?
Aye. Run your fingers over the back of his head.
All right, yeah.
You feel that bump? Well, I should have noticed that before.
Oh, nonsense. Not with that thick mat of grey hair. Recent bump?
There's no question about it. If that was an old... No, he could have hurt his head days ago. The bump would have subsided. He was hit less than 24 hours ago. I'd stake my reputation on it.
Don't. Save it for the inquest. You're a great guy, Mac. I think I'll go and have a word with that butler.
Do you live on the premises, Mr. Hobson?
Yes, I do, sir. I and my wife, who acts as cook general, occupy the 2 attic rooms.
And did you hear anything at all during the night?
Well, I awoke at about 1 or so. I thought I heard a taxi.
Why taxi? Why not an ordinary car?
Because I heard a voice say, thank you, and then the taxi drove off.
Tell me about the Makepeaces. Were they happily married?
Devoted to each other, sir.
All right, Mr. Hobson. I want you to tell me exactly what happened. You shouted, Lady Makepeace, come quickly, Sir Roland has hanged himself.
Yes, that's right, sir.
And then what happened?
I rushed to get a knife and cut the poor gentleman down.
Did you knock over the occasional table?
No, sir.
Now, according to your statement, apart from putting Sir Roland on the sofa, you didn't touch anything.
No, I did not.
Who notified the police?
The chauffeur, Patterson, did.
All right, thank you. Oh, is there anything else you can tell me?
Well, what is there to say?
Well, nothing at the moment. Thank you. Taxi, you say?
You want a general call for a taxi driver who dropped a fare at 106 Ensley Gardens. Very good, Inspector.
Yes, I want you to get through to the Foreign Office, too. Find out what time Sir Roland Makepeace left Whitehall and what transport arrangements were made by security.
Right, sir.
Quickly as you can. Yes?
Can I come in?
Oh, just the man I want. Oh, please do come in, Mr. Banbury. I was about to telephone you.
Any news?
Plenty. Sit down.
Thank you.
It's now a foregone conclusion that Sir Roland did not commit suicide. In my opinion, the murderers had nothing to do with the machinations of some foreign power.
But that's incredible. I mean, who...
Oh, never mind that now. According to Lady Makepeace, her husband was working under such pressure that he had a room at the Foreign Office where he occasionally stayed the night.
Yes?
Excuse me. Yes?
I telephoned Whitehall, sir. Security says Sir Roland telephoned his wife at about 9:15, telling her that he would be staying the night at the Foreign Office in order to complete the memorandum on the Balkan Conference.
Mm-hmm.
However, he called for a Foreign Office car at 2:15.
I see. Thank you. Did you know that Sir Roland was due to spend last night at the Foreign Office?
I saw him there at 10 o'clock. He told me that if he didn't complete his memorandum, he'd work through the night. But he obviously didn't do so.
It's less than 10 minutes from Whitehall to Ensley Gardens. That means that the driver dropped him at about 2:25. Unless... Well, let's see what happens about the taxi. So, this is your statement, Mr. Baines. Oh, would you care to read it through?
All right, sir. In response to a telephone call received at a taxi rank at the corner of Brook and Sackville Streets, I proceeded to 18 Cadogan Square. I rang the bell. A gentleman answered immediately and asked me to take him to 106 Ensley Gardens. We arrived at the destination at approximately 1:20. He paid me off, and I drove back to the rank, and that's all I know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Baines. Sergeant, we're calling on 18 Cadogan Square. In the meantime, get through to control, find out if the occupant of the flat is home. You, Mr. Baines, will come with me for purposes of identification. I'll see that you're suitably recompensed for loss of time.
What on earth's all this about? I was just on the point of going to bed.
All right, Mr. Baines, was this your fare?
That seems, sir.
Will somebody please tell me...
Inspector Carr, New Scotland Yard. Here's my warrant card. You took a taxi at 1:20 this morning. You took it to 106 Ensley Gardens.
Well, so what? Is that a crime?
That's what I'm trying to find out, Mr. Duke. Oh, your name is Duke, isn't it?
So it says. Yes, my name is Duke. I don't know what all this is about.
Who did you go to see at 106 Ensley Gardens?
Well,
I think you'd better come with me. There are one or two questions we want to ask you. Oh, on second thoughts, we won't go back to the yard. We'll call on Lady Makepeace. Sorry to have had to telephone you at this atrocious hour. You didn't waken Lady Makepeace, I trust?
You said it was unnecessary, sir. Mr. Duke.
Hello, Hobson.
Won't you come through, gentlemen?
Thank you. Let's go into the study, shall we? Did you let Mr. Duke in last night, Hobson?
Last night? No, sir. I didn't see Mr. Duke last night. Through here, gentlemen.
When did you see Mr. Duke last?
I've only seen this gentleman once or twice. Why, sir?
Got your own key, Mr. Duke?
This is nonsense. Key?
Who let you in?
Well...
Oh, come on, Mr. Duke. You said you called round last night. Mr. Hobson, the butler, was asleep. Who let you in?
Rosalind. Lady Makepeace.
My compliments to Lady Makepeace. Would you come down, please?
Sir.
Do as I say, as a good chap.
Very good, sir.
Duke. Your face is familiar to me, Mr. Duke.
I suppose I'm permitted to ask what this is all about.
Don't tell me you haven't read in the newspapers that Sir Roland has been found dead.
I heard it on the radio.
Then why do you want to know what it's all about? What do you think I'm doing here? Well, I'll be... Flash, Duke. I haven't seen you since you used to work the boats. I remembered him all right. Flash Duke. Started off in life as a professional dancing partner for the transatlantic shipping line. Took to card shopping, gambling, confidence trickery. Oh, it's all beginning to fall into a pattern, particularly when Lady Rosalind arrived.
I resent being dragged from my bed, Inspector.
Mr. Duke tells me that he paid you a call at 20 minutes past 1 last night.
Rosalind, the taxi driver...
I might have known. You contemptible little gutter snipe. The first sign of danger and you confess everything.
Ah, shut up, you idiot.
But the damage was done. I arrested them both. Poor Sir Roland Makepeace. While he was busy serving his country, this charming grey-haired grandmother was being escorted by Flash Duke. Whether he hit Sir Roland with a blackjack on impulse, as he said in the trial, and then strung the husband up in order to fake a suicide, or whether the whole thing was premeditated from the beginning in order that Lady Makepeace should inherit Sir Roland's not inconsiderable wealth, was not clearly established. Both paid the penalty for the crime, but what was the clue that convinced me it was murder and not suicide? Not sure. Listen to the commercial, and I'll be back to tell you about it. How? Well, listeners, what was the clue? If you remember, Dr. Macpherson and I looked at the shoes. Look at the mud on the shoes. Rained cats and dogs all night. Yet the overturned occasional table was as clean as a new pin. Got it now? Of course, what really happened was that the poor husband arrived back. Duke coshed him, tied one end of the rope to the bracket of the chandelier and the other round the neck of the unfortunate Foreign Office official who was strangled to death. And the moral of the story, ladies, if you decide to string your husband along, that's your business. When you string him up, that's ours. Good night.
The Epic Casebook was produced by Michael Silver for the makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Maple Margarine, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, and Niblets Cheese Twists, with Hugh Ross as Inspector Carr. Listen again next Thursday night at 9:30 to another exciting story from our Epic Casebook. The makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Purine and Pret Cooking Fat, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, Maple Margarine, and Niblets Cheese Twists present the Epic Casebook. in which Inspector Carr investigates.
Good evening. Man proposes, but fate disposes. No, I'm not about to embark on some profound philosophical thesis. It was just that as I was gazing through my casebook in order to find a story in which my line of investigation and the surrounding circumstances differed from those I've related recently, I came across a number of crimes that might have gone into the unsolved section of our files had it not been for some chance act that no one could have anticipated. It is this seemingly trivial and unpredictable intervention in the course of human activity which makes the perfect crime almost impossible. Had not a dear old lady dreamt that there was gold underneath the cement floor of the garage and paid for it to be dug up, the body of the previous tenant, Mrs. Mayhew, would never have been discovered, and her husband would have gone unpunished. Had not a dog, being exercised, decided to go chasing after a cat in Boreham Woods, Olive Henderson's body would have remained undiscovered until the following morning, by which time her killer would have escaped overseas. As it was, George Barker was arrested as he was about to board a ship. Take the story I'm going to tell you tonight. Had a holidaymaker not inserted his sixpence in the telescope on the top of Marlow Cliffs, he would not have seen Stephen Mannering disappear from the dinghy from which he was fishing, would not have raised the alarm, and his body might never have been found. Well, let me tell you about it. I've called my story The Waters of Death. The holidaymaker was a Mr. Patrick Scott. He rushed to report the incident and to seek assistance. Both he and those who went to rescue the man from the sea thought that they were taking part in a rescue operation as a result of an accident. Certainly they did not expect to find Stephen Mannering dead, nor that his death was caused by a blunt instrument and not by drowning. Carr speaking.
Operations here, Inspector.
Oh, who or what is it this time?
Devon County Constabulary seeking assistance. Someone identified as Stephen Mannering. Coshed on the head and thrown into the sea.
The sea, you say? Where?
Marlow. It's a nice time of the year, sir.
Yes, it is indeed. Are they expecting us down there straight away?
Yes, sir. A body was found yesterday afternoon. Sergeant Matthews is in charge of the local station.
Right. Well, tell him I'm on my way. And first, I want to talk to this holidaymaker, Patrick Scott.
Well, now, this is the spot, Inspector.
Ah, delightful spot it is, too. Oh, this is the telescope.
Yes. Hit me quite a shock, I can tell you.
Yes, I'm sure it did, Mr. Scott. Now, you put your sixpence in this machine like...
Yes.
So?
That's right, sir.
Yes. And you got a magnificent view of the bay. Yes, indeed, it is a magnificent view. No boats or anything at the moment.
Well, there wasn't any yesterday afternoon except the one dinghy.
Well, you couldn't tell. You couldn't see anything clearly unless you looked through this telescope. Did you focus the telescope on the dinghy all the time?
Oh, no, Inspector. No, I arrived at the Marlow Cove Hotel yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Just started my holiday. After tea, I thought I'd take a constitutional along the cliffs. I saw this telescope, and I thought I'd have a deco at the bay. Well, it was most extraordinary.
Yes, I know you've given one statement to Sergeant Matthews. Would you mind telling it to me again?
Nothing to tell, really. I mean, at the time, there didn't seem anything particularly exciting about a dinghy with a man in it fishing, you know.
Just a minute. Did you say fishing?
Oh, yes, I could see that clearly enough. It was a bit of a surprise when we fished him out of the water and found that somebody had bashed him on the head. I mean, there wasn't anybody near the spot. And I know the sergeant looked at me as though I'd had a drink or two because it just didn't seem to make sense. Of course, I recognized him at once.
Yes, he was staying at the same hotel. Had you spoken to him?
No, not really. I saw them in the morning when I checked into the hotel. And then I heard them as I was unpacking my things.
Heard them?
Well, I suppose every couple has a row now and again. Not that I know much about it, being a bachelor.
Oh? You heard Stephen Mannering quarrelling with his wife?
Yes, it was a bit embarrassing for me. You know, these modern hotels, the walls are as thin as cardboard. I didn't want to eavesdrop. Well, there seemed to be three of them, really, all having to go at each other. His brother...
Just a minute, Mr. Scott. You said he and his wife and his brother.
Oh, yes. So I'm sure it was his brother. They all seemed to be having to go at each other.
Could you hear what it was about?
As I say, I wasn't paying much attention. Something to do with shares. I could hear something about accountants and divorce.
Divorce, you say?
Yes, I heard that distinctly. I decided then that I should go downstairs. I didn't hear anything that might be of any help to you, I'm afraid.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. What happened when you rushed to get assistance?
Well, I ran as fast as my feet would carry me to the jetty. Luckily, Mr. Hayes was there with his boat. So I jumped in and we went after him.
If you say he fell out of the dinghy, he might have been drowned by now. Oh, I can see the dinghy, but I can't see any sign of Mannering. Are you sure it was Mannering?
No, I couldn't see his face or anything. It's that funny kind of duffel coat he was wearing at the hotel this morning.
Well, keep your eyes peeled. Here, what's that? That's him. It is Mannering. Here, grab that coat. Ah, good.
The water must have been quite buoyant to have kept him afloat.
No, Mr. Scott. He was dead before he went into the sea. Otherwise, his lungs would have filled with water and he'd have drowned. Now, it's a lucky chance that you happened to watch the incident through this telescope. Well, thank you, Mr. Scott. Let's get back to the police car and I'll drop you at the hotel. I was as puzzled as the Criminal Investigation Department of the Devon Police. Here was a dinghy in the middle of the bay, with no other boat in sight, if Mr. Scott could be relied upon. And yet, this extraordinary mystery develops. We know he was killed before he fell into the water. The local police surgeon said someone had given him a tremendous blow and cracked his skull. But how? Who? Yet the witness is absolutely convinced that there was nobody near the place. I decided to start with Scott's interesting story of the quarrel.
It'll all come out. I'm so ashamed. Sergeant Matthews has just rung me.
Oh? What about?
Oh, well, you'll know it too very soon. We were staying here at this hotel as husband and wife, but we weren't legally married.
Oh.
That didn't mean anything. Stephen and I couldn't get married. But we loved each other.
His wife wouldn't give him a divorce?
She couldn't care less about him. It was my husband that put a spanner in the works.
Who is your husband?
Alan Phillips. He calls himself an actor, although he hasn't had a part since last Christmas. He's a ham, my husband, on the stage as well as in real life. When I told him that I wanted a divorce, he put on an act, talking about marriage being a sacred contract, never to be dissolved and all that. So Stephen and I thought, well, if we can't go to the registry office, we just have to do without it. Doesn't make any difference to me.
I see. Now, what happened here yesterday morning?
Stephen's brother turned up.
Name?
Derek. Came to see the horror of his brother living in sin on holiday.
I understand you all quarreled.
Understand? You mean all the nosy barkers in the hotel were listening with their ears glued to the keyhole? Yes, we quarreled. There was Derek, the pillar of society, threatening to throw Stephen out of the family business unless he went back to his wife.
And your husband, I beg your pardon, Mr. Mannering?
You may well ask. 100 times he used to swear he'd make any sacrifice for me, and that miserable little crawler actually considered going back to his wife. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I? I'm sorry. But don't you see, now he's been killed, don't you see where it leaves me? What it makes me?
Have you any idea who killed him?
No. Yes, I have. Why should I shield him? Stephen's father made a peculiar will. The shares of the company weren't to go outside the family, should one of the 3 shareholders, that is, the mother, Derek Mannering, and Stephen, die without leaving children. Then the shares would have to go to the remaining members of the family.
And Stephen Mannering has no children?
That's right. So his shares will go to Derek and the mother. Quite a coincidence, don't you think, Inspector?
I see what you're getting at, Mrs. Mannering, or rather I should call you... what's your married name?
Phillips.
Yeah. Tell me something about your movements yesterday, Mrs. Phillips.
Stephen said he was going fishing.
What happened to the brother?
He wouldn't even stay for lunch. Went off with a triumphant grin on his face.
Because Stephen had agreed to go back to his wife?
Yes. He said he'd go fishing. He hired a dinghy belonging to this hotel.
And what did you do then?
Me? I stayed here in this room.
How long?
I really don't know. You mustn't ask me these questions, Inspector. Say for an hour or so. First, I wanted to leave here immediately. I'd already written a letter to Stephen, but then I tore it up and thought I'd have another chat with him when he came back. So I waited in the hotel lounge. I had a couple of drinks at the bar there. The barman will confirm that. Then I went to the terrace and read my book.
Mr. Scott happened to see the empty boat just after tea. Do you remember what you were doing at that time?
Yes, I was here on the terrace.
Doing anything in particular?
Reading a book. Now listen, Inspector.
Now, let's not cross verbal swords, madam. I'm only trying to get to the core of the mystery. Your husband, or rather the man you wanted for your husband, has had his skull cracked open and his body thrown into the sea. You'd like us to find the person who did it, wouldn't you?
Of course I would. I know I said some nasty things about him. I did love him. Now my whole world is topsy-turvy.
Will you go back to your husband?
No. I don't know where I'll go, but I certainly won't go back to my husband.
When do you propose to leave?
Well, there's nothing here, is there? I thought of going back to London tomorrow.
Well, I wonder if you'd kindly stay here at Marlow until, say, tomorrow night. Might want to get in touch with you again.
Yes, that's all right. I won't run away. I wouldn't know who to run to.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Scott. Oh, I've forgotten you were next door. Do you mind if I have another word with you?
By all means, like to come into my room?
Well, if you don't mind.
Do you like a drink? Keep my own private supply.
No, thanks. Fact of the matter is that I can't get over this business of you seeing a dinghy in your telescope and Mannering fishing, and then he disappears.
Oh, you mean there must have been another man there to crack him on the skull, eh?
Precisely. Now, let's pinpoint it. Did you traverse the telescope from side to side?
Yes.
And then you suddenly saw that dinghy coming along?
That's right, yes. It just come round Brooker's Head, sailing across the bay.
And there was just one man in the boat?
Yes.
Couldn't another person have been hidden by the sail?
Well, I suppose it would have been possible. Mind you, I didn't pay much attention to it.
Well, at least this is something. I don't believe in miracles or conjuring tricks. No. If you saw Mannering in the eye of your telescope and in the next few seconds he isn't there, you'd have seen any other occupant of the dinghy. I don't know. Man has his head smashed in while alone in a little dinghy crossing the bay. Doesn't make sense, does it, Mr. Scott?
No, I suppose it doesn't. Now, look, Inspector, I'm no sailor, but couldn't he have knocked his head against something on the boat? I mean, those sailing boats have all sorts of masts and things that's swinging about in the air.
No, Mr. Scott, after my discussion with Sergeant Matthews and the police surgeon, we know that Mannering was brutally hit over the head with such force that it couldn't have been an accident. Now, is there nothing else you can think of?
Yeah. Now, wait a moment.
Yes?
Well, on the other side of the bay...
Well?
Yes. There was a car, a black car. I'm not sure about it. Just had a glimpse of it.
You say it was the other side of the bay.
Yes,
now, how
that's
would you
right.
know it was a black car? Had to be a powerful telescope.
Well, it's only a small bay.
That's fair enough. Here, wait a moment. The other side of the bay. If we were here 3 years ago, isn't it all marshland over there? Doesn't a road lead from the village to that point?
Yes. I haven't been over there yet. But according to the local guide, it's known as Dead Man's Point.
I don't know how you do it. I just don't know.
Do what?
Well, cook the meals you do on your housekeeping budget.
When you're a housewife, you learn all the tricks. Like today, I bought a big supply of Pret shortening. It's good. I know lots of girls who don't have to budget, but they won't use anything but Pret.
Well, what do you use it for?
Almost everything. Roasting, baking, and, of course, pastry. Pret is the shortening for pastry, you know.
Well, darling, I think you're a wonderful cook.
Thank you.
My mother was a great cook, too.
My mother's a better cook than your mother.
Nobody can cook as good as my mom.
When it comes to cooking, mothers go down in history. And when it comes to pastry, tender golden roasts, light crispy fries, Pret shortening stands alone among women who care.
My mother cooks with Pret.
Were we really onto something? Or was the dramatic name, Dead Man's Point, influencing my desperate search for a clue? Whatever my reasoning, I decided to concentrate on that aspect. Look, Sergeant Matthews, I know you haven't got a large force in a small place like this, but Dead Man's Point must have some significance. Why is it called that?
Well, I believe at the time of the Armada, they found a dead Spanish sailor there. Well, what do you want us to do, sir?
Well, Scott says he saw a black car.
Rather a sticky place to drive a car. The road peters out, and all there is a marsh.
All the more reason. Find out if anybody's been seen in a car like that. Check the petrol station in the village. In a small place like this, every stranger's conspicuous. See whether anybody was here who attracted the attention of the people in the village.
Right, sir.
Try the pub. Try the verger at the church. Lots of people visit the old church. Well, you know the usual routine.
Yes, sir. I'll do that, sir.
While the local sergeant set in motion the questioning of the villagers, I got through to London and invoked the aid of operations. Now, this is what I want you to do, Ops. I want you to get through to X branch. I want you to find out everything concerning the dead man, Stephen Mannering, his wife, or rather, Mrs. Edith Phillips, who had been living with him, her estranged husband, Alan Phillips, apparently an unsuccessful actor, and the dead man's brother, Derek.
Very good, sir. How's the inquiry going?
Oh, it isn't at all at the moment. Well, we have one slight lead that might get us somewhere. Still, we've solved cases that seemed worse than this. Now, get cracking, there's a good chap.
Righto, sir.
Sergeant Matthews. Well, I hope you don't mind my sitting in your chair using your phone.
Not a bit, sir.
Any joy?
I think so, sir. I find something that might be of use.
Good.
First of all, the driver of the Newton Abbot bus remembered a passenger he had yesterday morning who came off the London train.
Mm-hmm.
It was a woman, and he said she was a bit strange-like.
Oh?
The way she was dressed, he said. She wore flat shoes, a large hat, and a suit, which, so he said, must have been 20 years out of fashion.
Huh, that's interesting. Go on.
Apparently, the woman made inquiries about where to find the Marlow Cove Hotel. But when she got off the bus, she made straight for Hatton's garage and hired a car.
Uh-huh.
She also inquired about a boarding house where she could stay, and Hatton mentioned Mrs. Mackenzie, who takes in boarders.
I see.
Well, the long and short of it all is that she did turn up at Mrs. Mackenzie's, took a room, paid for 3 days in advance, and then set off in Hatton's car, which is a black saloon.
Ah.
She returned the car early in the evening, and Hatton said she'd only done about 12 miles. She took the bus back to Newton Abbot, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Well, didn't she go back to this Mrs. Mackenzie?
No, sir. She didn't leave any luggage behind. But you see, sir...
There's a gleam in your eyes, Sergeant Matthews. What is it?
Well, sir, Hatton said that when this woman returned the car to him, the wheels were caked with mud.
Mud, eh?
And the only muddy place we have round here is that marshy bit on Dead Man's Point.
That's interesting, Matthews. Very interesting. I'll wager my non-existent bowler hat to that telescope on Marlow Cliffs that Mrs. Mackenzie will have some rather vital bits of information.
Mind you, Inspector, I don't know that I can help you, but she certainly was a mysterious guest.
Why mysterious, Mrs. Mackenzie?
Well, she comes here saying she wants to spend 3 days painting, pays her money in advance, and then disappears without as much as saying, "Thank you, but I've got to return home rather unexpectedly," or something. Do you not think that's rather strange, Inspector?
Oh, I certainly do. Tell me, when she came to stay, did she look at the room?
Look at the room. She just sat here for a few minutes, lugged her suitcase out again.
Just a minute. Why did you say lugged?
Oh, because I could hardly lift it when I tried to give her a hand.
I see. The painter's palette and easel isn't all that heavy.
Or neither a woman's clothes, which she may have had in it.
And so the $64 question is, what was she carrying in that suitcase? Can you describe the woman for us, Mrs. Mackenzie?
Oh, Why, she was about 6 feet tall, a little on the stout side. She wore a rather flowery hat, a muffler, and that dress of hers. It was a two-piece that must have been made before Sergeant Matthews here was born.
What was her voice like? Was it a sort of high-pitched, squeaky voice?
You mean it might have been a man dressed as a woman?
Yes, madam. There are scores of cases where... Well, let's not indulge in idle conjecture. Did you see her drive off?
I saw her drive the car round the corner, but from there she may have gone anywhere. Tell me, why do you want to know all this, Inspector? Is it anything to do with the dead man they found the day before yesterday? Someone told me that his wife was staying at the Marlow Cove Hotel, but they say she isn't really his wife.
I'm sorry I can't tell you anything about it. Now, thank you very much for your information. Come on, Matthews, we've got to go now. Maybe some news from operations.
Derek Mannering caught the 8 a.m. fast train to Newton Abbot. He is known to have returned on the 1:30, arriving Paddington 4:20.
Well, that lets him out. We know that the man was alive at that time. What about Edith Phillips?
Interesting point, dear sir.
Yes?
It's known that she created a disturbance at the Green Lantern restaurant 4 weeks ago. She was arrested for striking Derek Mannering with a bottle and was bound over the following morning to keep the peace.
Anything else? What about her husband?
The local manor says there's nothing known against him except he's heavily in debt in the district. The local publican and wine merchants say that they refused him credit.
Right. Anything else?
Nothing further, sir.
Okay, thank you. Oh, if you need me urgently, I'll be back at the yard tomorrow. I think I'd better have a word with the estranged husband. Mr. Phillips, I'm a police officer. May I come in?
Yes, of course.
Go.
Through here, please. And what can I do for you? Is it something to do with the death of Stephen Mannering?
Oh, you know about it?
Of course, it was in yesterday's paper. Do sit down.
Thank you. You knew Mannering, I understand.
Oh, yes, I knew him. My wife and I met him in Yugoslavia last year.
When did you last see him?
Months ago. I can't really recall the date. Oh, yes, it was at some party in our club, the Underwater Club.
And since then you haven't seen or heard of him?
No, I haven't.
What about your wife? Has she been in touch with him?
Now, look here, Inspector. You said you're investigating the case. You must have found out by now that my wife has left me and is living with him, so why ask these questions?
All right, then. So there's no need to beat about the bush. What did you do when you heard that your wife was leaving you for Mannering?
Gave it up as a bad job, Inspector. A wife who can do that to her husband after 15 years of marriage isn't worth bothering about, don't you agree?
You didn't make any effort to get your wife back, then?
Well, I wrote to her. I even rang her, but it was no good. And to be quite honest, Inspector, it had happened several times before, and I've always taken her back. This time I'd had enough. I've got to draw the line somewhere.
Right. But I wouldn't be wrong in saying that the death of Stephen Mannering didn't upset you unduly.
Of course you wouldn't be. Well, what did you expect me to do? Die of a broken heart because that so-and-so had kicked the bucket? I never did like the man.
All right, Mr. Phillips. I'd just like to know from you what you were doing last Tuesday.
Tuesday? Well, let's see. I didn't go out at all. I was here all the time. I stayed here from Monday night until Wednesday morning. You see, I've got a part in a new play. I was learning some of the lines.
And what's the play called?
Summer's End. One of these kitchen sink dramas. But it's quite a good play, really.
And what about food? What about a charwoman?
Well, I had all the food I needed in the fridge. The charwoman comes in twice a week on Mondays and Thursday mornings.
So there's nobody who can confirm that you were actually here in this flat on Tuesday?
No, I'm afraid not. One normally doesn't always have to prepare an alibi, does one, Inspector?
No, of course not. This picture on the mantelpiece, that's you, isn't it?
Yes, that was taken while I was in the Navy.
Ah, you're a frogman, weren't you?
That's right.
Now, look here, Mr. Phillips. On the day Stephen Mannering was killed, a strange woman appeared in the village. From the description, it may appear, I say it may, mind you, that she wasn't a woman at all, but a man dressed up as a woman. Now, for an actor, it'd be quite easy to do that, wouldn't it?
Hey, steady.
Now, hear me out. We got a very good description from the owner of the boarding house where that woman took a room. And I must say that the description fits you perfectly, Mr. Phillips.
I don't know what she's told you, but this is preposterous. How could that woman's description possibly fit me?
It's a very good description, Mr. Phillips. I put it to you that you took the night train to Newton Abbot. Then you took the bus to Marlow, where Mannering and your wife were staying. Knowing Stephen Mannering was fond of sailing, you watched for an opportunity to kill him while he was actually in a boat.
Rubbish. There isn't the slightest grain of truth in it.
Isn't there? When you saw that Mannering had taken a dinghy out from the Marlow Cove Hotel, you took your diving equipment, which you'd brought from London. What did you have in the case, Mr. Phillips? Oxygen bottles?
This is quite
Don't interrupt me, Mr. Phillips. You then drove the car you'd hired from Hatton's garage to Dead Man's Point. When you saw Mannering sailing across the bay, you put on your diving outfit, swam underwater to his boat, knocked him over the head and pulled him into the water, correct?
It's all lies. I wasn't near the place. I didn't even know Edith was there with him. I told you, I've been here in the flat all the time.
Mind if I search your flat? I haven't got a warrant, but I can easily get one. A sergeant could be here.
Why do you want to search my flat?
Well, I'd expect to find an olive green muffler, a flowery hat with a broad brim and a bow, and a woman's two-piece costume.
All right, you win. I loved Edith. No matter what she'd done to me, all I wanted was to get her back. I thought that once Mannering was dead, she might... Don't you understand, Inspector? The thought that she was living with this man drove me mad. It's like the last line of a play. All right, Inspector, you've solved your case. Have you got your handcuffs ready?
I don't think it'll be necessary, Mr. Phillips. Just pack a few things, come with us to the station where I propose to charge you with the willful murder of Stephen Mannering.
You were very sure of me, weren't you? I suppose you knew I'd killed him all along.
Good heavens, no. You were suspect, obviously. But you gave yourself away. You made a silly mistake. Well, listeners, what was Alan Phillips' foolish mistake? Did you spot it? Not sure? Well, listen to the commercial, and I'll be back to tell you.
I know this is your favorite program, love, but shouldn't you be baking for tomorrow's birthdays?
There's no hurry. I'm taking the easy way. I'm baking 4 maypole cakes in one batch.
4 maples? You mean they're all going to be the same?
Same light, fluffy texture, same moist flavor, yes. But they'll have different frostings and fillings. You know, chocolate, orange.
I know. You're trying to blind me with domestic science.
It's very simple. I'm making my usual foolproof maple margarine cake 4 times, that's all.
Maple has its own light blending texture that gives you light-hearted confidence cake after cake. If it's worth doing right with pure, light-textured maple margarine. No doubt about it, maple margarine, a truly great product.
Well, listeners, did you notice how Phillips gave himself away? If you remember, I told Phillips... Now, hear me out. We've got a very good description from the owner of the boarding house where that woman took a room. And I must say that the description fits you perfectly, Mr. Phillips.
I don't know what she's told you, but this is preposterous. Now, how could that woman's description possibly fit me?
See it now? How did Phillips know that the owner of the boarding house was a woman? I never said so. It was a foolish mistake, wasn't it? One for which he paid dearly, since he was sentenced to life imprisonment, as he deserved to be. Oh, the moral of the story: never go fishing when there's a skin diver about. You'll never know who is on the other end of the line. Good night.
The Epic Casebook was produced by Michael Silver for the makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Maple Margarine, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, and Niblets Cheese Twists, with Hugh Rouse as Inspector Carr. Listen again next Thursday night at 9:30 to another exciting story from our Epic Casebook.